here on the Rift with these two compositions butting heads. Showmaker pulling out the Rise here for game number 1, hoping to be another carry alongside of this Unara. As we're ready, let's hop into the Rift for game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Alrighty, game number 1 here in the lower bracket, round 1 of these playoffs. We mentioned it before, but it's best of 5s the whole way through, and if you win, you're on to the next round. If you lose, you're out, and your season is over. You will not qualify for Worlds. You will not make it onto the next rung here in the playoffs and have a chance to fight at Inspire Arena.
Yeah.
You're just gone.
It'll be fun.
That's it.
If you win, you get to face T1. And then if you beat them, you get to face Gen G. And then if you beat them, you get to face the winner of KT. I really, we shouldn't waste too many words on it, but the fact that it's KT, Hanwha, upper bracket, I love that. That's crazy, Valdez. We were all, if we didn't do a Puckstate episode this time, but if we'd done a playoffs one, you know what it would have been. It would have been T1 Gen G into T1 Gen G.
Yeah.
But here we are, and for both of these teams, currently, as of the start of this day, there is still the opportunity to make a run. And unfortunately, by the end of today, one of these two teams will no longer have that opportunity, as looking at the rune setups, not really seeing anything too surprising. Here, we've seen a decent amount of different setups on the Qiyana, really going either for Conqueror or for the Electrocute. For BNK, I think you just want to fully send it, right? This is just a composition that is always, I think, going to be playing very aggressive and has to be the one that starts off any fight. But then also it's BNK, and that's just it's kind of what they do no matter what.
Yeah. If BNK win game 1, I think we'd all be very surprised, just because DK are the game 1 winners. That's what they do in best of 3s, best of 5s. Would just be pretty surprising, but I'm a big fan of what they've drafted, as long as Raptor can actually show us the power of Qiyana, because it's getting drafted a lot everywhere. We've had it drafted here 3 times, it's lost every time. I just want to see, I want to have people notice, like, hey, this is actually a good champ and not just being a bait pick, at least as it has been at the LCK.
You also, I don't think you get games that are a lot better when it comes to the setup that you have available, because so there is Rumble that plays off of you, but there is Nico, and there is just in general so much upfront burst. I think that Raptor definitely has an opportunity, and we have actually, I talk about the Qiyana, right, but we've actually seen him carry games as well with the Neferi, another AD assassin. That was a counter pick that they also used really, really well into the Vi Ahri, which, to the surprise of no one, was heavily prioritized by DK. His bot lane, though, without intervention of Raptor, who was pathed from bot to top, has been struggling a little bit. As we'll see, Lucid might be looking for a little wraparound here, but there's a ward in the Tribrush, so doesn't look like anything is going to come of it, as Showmaker should be fine here.
Yeah, and Lucid stopped his back and actually came to mid lane, flashed on in for the Rue. Raptor in a bunch of trouble, but this is Qiyana, so he just, double dashes away, and now it's Showmaker without his flash.
Big investment there from Showmaker, and not panning out, really, I'd say, whatsoever. Raptor living there is a big deal. I don't know if, I don't think he got cancelled. I think he is just looking for a possible wraparound, but he will get spotted here.
Does he care?
Well, Showmaker doesn't have flash and it's Qiyana, so like he's fine.
Yeah. He is spending a lot of time kind of just running around, so...
No, Lucid also took his Raptors. So like this is a really big tempo advantage now for Lucid. Showmaker, though, did also have to give up control of his wave, so he's going to be pushed in. We'll see how much he actually ends up missing. And he's going to base, and he doesn't have TP, so... It's a cannon wave, but Vikla still should be able to build up a nice, sizable CS lead here. But Showmaker did ensure that Lucid wasn't set further behind, and Raptor is going to be behind in Experience by a decent amount now, and will be down a longsword.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice early advantage to the jungler of Dplus Kia.
No.
There goes the cannon. It's what you have to give up. A slow push here from Vikla, as he knew, well, it's a cannon wave, and Showmaker, even if he backs, he's not going to miss much. So I'll just sit here and deny as much CS as I possibly can, while also getting all the CS myself. So we do have a swap. Diablo and Kellen have made their way up to the top lane. As I don't feel like Rumble, as you mentioned before, does a very good job of bullying Ambessa that much anymore. So, you know, just getting him down in the bottom lane against the Yunara is just fine. And maybe your two ranged bottom laners can make Ambessa's life a little bit harder.
So Shiva's life is going to be a lot harder, as a case in point.
Yeah, speaking of which.
Yeah, he does have TP still, though,
Yeah.
so he will be able to make his way back to the lane. And Ambessa is also kind of tough to dive. Rumble's definitely safer, though, especially now that you have access to equalizers. You can just equalize the wave if you are feeling a dive. This also frees up the Bard, so we'll see if DK is able to actually utilize that power. The main thing is that it's going to give access to a free early Drake. Here for Lucid, contest shouldn't really be possible because BNK are a man down. And then the expectation is that they will get grubs. As Dplus does come down and is displeased with Showmaker.
Yeah. Got 4 members of BNK on the top side of the map, but you know, those grubs not spawned yet. And so it's just getting some plates, just hanging around the mid lane, and okay, that's a flash shot in. Showmaker in a lot of trouble, goes down. First blood goes to Raptor on the Kiana, and that's what happens when you don't have your flash.
Even with flash, I think Raptor found a really nice window there because Vikla sets up the CC. There's not really too much you can do about that. But then Raptor does actually follow up, and a snowballing Kiana could be something that actually turns the tide in favor of BNK here. As
Slurkle, very good and clear, is going to dodge the binding afterwards, but the issue is that he had to stay in range of the Yunara for so long just in order to dodge it. There's that equalizer you were talking about, as Rumble doesn't care about lane swaps if he has his ult.
And a big win, the punish on the misplay from Showmaker earlier. Do want to highlight that this is something that Showmaker, I think, struggled with a lot more in the regular season. Was actually very susceptible to ganks. As Kalen.
This looks kind of obvious, yeah.
Yeah, we see the pings go down. So
still.
Showmaker not falling for that one. With the equalizer taken down, I wouldn't be surprised. And with the swap coming through, DK might actually be playing for double objective here. As we take another look, it's very straightforward. Nicely done there by Raptor. Just with the flash has enough damage. Showmaker, if he had Mercs, maybe be able to proc the phase rush. Without ult at the start of the play, Raptor maybe wouldn't have been able to kill him. Or if he, again, as Feldas highlighted, had flash. Not going to be the case, but the objective control has been in favor of DK thus far, and with this swap, should also continue. But this is where I think we're really going to see the power of this BNK comp.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely want to fight over this, as one grub went over to Lucid, and he's just going to have to give up the other 2. Although flag is coming down, and Showmaker is going down to the bottom lane. Nice flash here from Clear. Sees the Realm Warp, and he's just like, yeah, never mind. My team is getting grubs up top, and I'm getting ganked, so I'm just going to run away from this.
So 1 grub still taken for DK. I think this is one of those situations where both teams are like, it's fine, 2 grubs for BNK, but they did give up Dragon, and the flash is also forced for Clear. So the Rumble does need to play a lot more safe, and Jarvan being on the field, I think, does really impact the value of flash for any member that can't easily get out of the Cataclysm. So that does mean that we will be seeing Lucid maybe pay attention, a quick visit towards that bot lane, as we still have held on to these lane swaps. The lead for Vikla is getting bigger and bigger, though. Already built up like 200, 250 gold from the early play. That ended up backfiring for Showmaker, and then the kill meant that he's able to be almost 2 waves up, as well as the assist.
Chovying just a little bit himself. He's playing Annie, so it's very difficult to actually miss the CS if you're paying attention, and if your lane opponent doesn't really do anything to you. So second plate should be going down here momentarily, as here's Raptor, though, going to find Barrel. There's the root into the wall, into the ults. Does he have the damage? Doesn't look like it just yet, although Barrel is going to flash away and just dies anyway. Raptor saying, dude, I'm Kiana. And it doesn't seem like anyone on DK seems to know what this champion does.
Even though they played it themselves, which is interesting.
Oh, nice little sidestep there from Vikla.
Oh, you saw he wanted to go for that, but the Realm Warp isn't there. Showmaker used it to force the flash on bot lane. And it's not going to be enough to completely break the game because aiming is still able to farm up. But these are very big leads that are being built here for BNK as Lucid.
Oh boy, yeah, just gonna run into 4 people and die! Everybody was backing together. And BNK are playing like a team. DK are not at this point in time.
No, they're really not. And what they're getting on the cross map doesn't really seem to compare. They're getting some plates. That's it, really. In mid, Lucid, I think, looking for the backhand, so instead just gets CC'd and dies. And this is exactly what the BNK comp wants to do. As we take another look here. Barry, you had flash. Could have used it at any point. Decided
well,
he did, yes. The very end.
He did, yeah.
Raptor obviously not really going to be too bothered by that. And then here, Lucid, also just the way that he pathed, right? If he walks a little bit further up, you get vision, but just tried to round the corner in a way that didn't really hit the mark, giving up a kill for free. Gold lead, thanks to, I think, mostly the fact that Showmaker was able to just shove like 2 waves into mid, because that gold lead in mid is now gone. But there is a 3-0 Qiyana, and if you're a BNK fan and you see Raptor being this fat, you're feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Diablo carry angle. I mean, he still can because he's playing Corki, but this Qiyana is out of control, and we haven't really seen a Qiyana do anything. Most of the time, it has been totally useless. Like, we've seen Qiyana's missing ults and just getting behind and just like kind of doing nothing, right? But this is going to be the exact opposite of what we've seen so far, so I hope you guys are ready to see the true power of this champion.
Well, especially with Annie and Rumble and Nico. There's a lot of power here.
Ocean Soul.
As we do have Ocean Soul, which I guess at Bessa is like, yes. Everyone else, are you going to live when BNK use their burst? Probably not.
Yeah.
And for BNK, I also think that looking at the way that DK will play a lot of the fights, I think it's fine. But Infernal would have been very different. Mountain, I think, would have been very different. Would have really warped the game. Maybe this will be the one.
4th ranged minion comes in as there is the ult stun, and now the Nico follow up the flash, does get the knock up into the root, and Showmaker is just dead again. The kill does go over to Kellen, but he's been trying so hard to make those plays happen. He finally gets one here.
And BNK just keeps going for the same play, and it keeps working. Very straightforward. Get to Vikla's lane, presses his skills on the Showmaker, and Showmaker just ends up going down as well. Now, again, the only answer that DK will get is here in the mid lane, and I think you obviously would have rather had the kill go to the carry as opposed to Nico. But it's still big win there. Yet another play, and BNK are so much more active on the map. And for me, this composition would have been exceptional, even if you're like just even. But they're pulling ahead. As we take another look here, I think that obviously by the time Showmaker realizes it's too late, and the flash after Kellen has already flashed as well, misjudging the distance there and just end up going down anyway. Could have held on to it. Not going to be the case. And we're not really seeing the DK game 1 that I think we're both kind of expecting come into this first one. But BNK still very sharp. Look like a cohesive unit as Barrel. Look at the wall stun, which means that he lives to fight another day. I was kind of worried that he was just going to get one-tapped very quickly. Yeah.
He has a lot of help there that maybe could have traded back if Raptor fully committed, but as you mentioned, the stun came in, so he didn't really get to see it come to fruition here. Barrel taking huge amount of damage from the Nico, and now he's sticking around. This time, he will flash. As he, you know, he learned from the last play up in the top lane, I suppose. Showmaker definitely struggling. They're just going to sit him in a side lane, but just means that, you know, you got to deal with Clear. He's down a level 2, and the rest of the team is ahead, especially when you consider that Qiyana Although Lucid is up a level on Raptor. The farm has been good for Lucid, so he's not massively behind. As here's Shiyu getting bullied on the right side. Raptor in a lot of trouble himself. They're going to get that shutdown on the Yunara of all people. As B&K go a bit too deep in the enemy jungle. The flash follow from the side of Lucid is big. Plus the binding comes in, although a bit of a trade comes back here. Diablo trying to make something of it as he does get the kill onto 2. Alongside of Vikla. As now Kellen, he's still on the run, but eventually he will just die, as they should give this kill over to Shiyu, and it's a big turnaround here for Dplus Kia.
And unfortunately, that too is B&K. That jungle overforce is something that I remember them doing once or twice, but that was during the regular season, not during playoffs. I think they've actually been very level-headed, something we praised them for. But we're throwing everything to Mbessa on one end. And then the Kiana ult, I'm pretty sure was on the inside of the Jarvan ult.
It was on the inside of the donut, yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't, it looked cool.
It was very funny.
Yeah, but it didn't quite, even, I gotta say though, even if that hits, like this is probably an even fight, but I have more an issue with just this fight in general because it feels very unnecessary. You were doing a really good job of controlling the lanes, of applying the pressure. Now there is a legitimate win condition for DK in the form of Shiyu on this Mbessa, who now finally is build lead and aiming went unchecked for most of that fight, leading to him now also feeling a lot better. And you can see it there on the gold graph. Not enough though. I do still think that DK is gonna have to give up this Rift Herald, and we are seeing some pinks going down as well. I think they're expecting that to get placed towards the top half as, guys, the cannon is there. Is it enough?
Yeah, I mean, Realm Warp coming in here as well. Showmaker going to get the aggro on this as Clear is just doing as much damage as he can as the Redemption added a little bit of damage. Clear still alive under this turret with basically nothing. The mid lane turret should be going down, and it's only a matter of time until somebody presses a button, but this push in mid is not being responded to very quickly.
But they got top as well. So I think that if you are B&K, probably not feeling too bad. Got 2 turrets. We'll give one up, and the kill did go over to Showmaker, which helps to dig him a little bit out of the hole. And despite the fact that B&K take the 2 turrets, the gold lead is still kind of returned thanks to the jungle play to basically even. And this feels a lot more Rise Group, baby, but they did use all their tempo on the mid play, which means that they will be forced, I say forced to give up this dragon. There isn't that much damage available here, but I think DK still should be able to get it because that's Kallen. Raptor will get spotted here.
Yeah, a little bit late for the real Kiana. And yeah, so just Ocean Drake over to Dplus Kia. It's pretty nice, but not the end of the world. This game, at the end of the day, is very even.
Yes.
It does feel like either team could win from here, as they're trying to get some vision against Vikla, who is going to miss his bear. And Tibbers kind of done dirty by that one.
So, because the funniest part is, as much as I... Oh?
Okay. The root came in right as he pressed his R button. That's not a good look, as now the Cataclysm gets some nice value here. Bard, Tempered Fate, going to keep them around for Shiyu, who is thinking about it, certainly. But it's 5v5 in the bottom lane, and nothing really amounts of it after all of that.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting more. And it's a win for B&K. They got TP. They get Lucid's Flash. So this whole situation started with an attempt to play from Kallen, who did have the Flash and the Rocket Belts. Obviously wants to go and try and make these big plays. I think that's warranted. I also think B&K scope is actually good at jungle fights, because that's where Kiana excels, that's where Rumble excels, these tight corridors where you can't really sprawl out. This one looks a lot better in setup than the previous one, and yet it didn't end up really blossoming into anything. Talking about blossoms, we are still even. Really, should either team think about doing Otacon in this? You know where I'm going with this.
No.
No. Do not do it.
Absolutely not.
No,
please,
no,
don't.
Please. Definitely not DK, but also probably not B&K.
Well, I would say if they're ahead and they have a good turn angle, which they should, because their comp does have pretty good turn with the Nico and all the follow-up and the Annie, then sure. But I feel like with the game that's this even,
I don't think
I don't think it's worth.
No.
You know?
No.
You can get yourself into a lot of trouble. But if you were more ahead, if you had like a reasonable tank as well, which they don't really because they have Kiana in the jungle, As they're going to find Raptor here, by the way. The big zoom out as there's that ult, and the disengage cone will get Raptor to safety.
It's Gian. I would have gotten out anyway, as Feldas looks at me suspiciously.
Maybe.
Especially with the rest of the team being ready. Is the flash gone? That is a big cooldown. Flash Kiana ult is one of the least fun things to deal with. She can actually cover a lot of distance between the, coming in from stealth with the grass Q into E into flash into ult shenanigans. So not being able to do so is definitely valuable. The more I think about it, like I think for DK, even if you were 10k gold up, I'm just like, don't do Otacon. It's not. There's choke points, there's corridors, there's walls. Just anything that B&K comp likes. For DK, I think a fight is either find a single target, blow them up, preferably in as wide a space as possible, or as
start it, just go for the solo kill on the Otacon. That's fine.
Yeah, Kiana also notoriously with great objective damage. Raptor is doing well thus far, but they will spot this going on. And I think they're just looking to get a response. Do note, Shiu doesn't have TP, but neither does Clear. He's here though. Vikla TPing in now.
Yeah, it's just 5v4 and their turn is excellent.
Oh, they're going to give it up.
It's just going to be up to Lucid to try to steal it, but now with the equalizer, he just has to give it away. So a nice play here from the side of B&K, identifying that Shiu did not have his TP, and they just started on up. With that extra damage, is now maybe looking for a bit more, or at least trying to save their mid-turret, which they will be successful at doing.
And that is a ton of flowers going over to B&K. They already had a small lead, but now it turned into a big one. And there were, I think, not going for the fight there without Shiu having TP definitely makes sense. This is the price they had to pay for the play earlier, where Shiu TP'd bot. They did get a decent amount of CS, which is why you see the gold lead has now finally swung in favor, but with the stats being given by the Otacon, I don't think that's going to be something that B&K is going to be too worried about. And I'm still looking forward towards that actual 5v5, which I feel like we still haven't really seen yet. As both these teams know as well, Game 1 momentum could be big. The series last time was insanely close. Falling behind early would be definitely a tough one.
Yeah. Especially with side selection for B&K, the onus is on you to take the win so that you don't fall behind on the serve, as we call it, the ban pick serve, which is where you can fall behind and then eventually not have side selection towards the end of the best of 5. Raptor kind of just running through the dark here. He's going to find a couple of members, as there's the ult, going to throw Shiu away, but he still dies. Meanwhile, Kellen by himself here. He's got Vikla actually, but this is looking very good for the side of Dplus as one by one, they are falling on the side of B&K. 3 of them will go over to DK.
Showmaker wasn't even there.
Yeah, you don't need everybody when they just face check. It's fine.
I guess so. I'm sorry, I need a moment to process this. That was 3 kills. Showmaker was also pushing inside. They're going to get soul point here as well.
Careful, Diablo. Okay, he's just trying to fight him.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about that. That's just Diablo. He has his 2 out of power spike. He's feeling good about that.
Okay.
That's going to be inner. That is a really big swing, Valves. I kind of have a hard time wrapping my head around it. I just don't know how they don't think that DK is going to be in position to contest this. The setup here is really nice as well. So we start up with the Q, which sets up for Shiu. And then there's no way out. Lucid here, by the way, going in as well. I thought at first he was maybe going to go out. Not the case. The rest of the team is ready, but it's really Beryl and Shiu that set this one up just ahead of the play. And for B&K, I think their objective setups were one of the strongest parts when we go back to that previous series. But that is now a sizable gold lead here. Now, for B&K, do note there is still that big wombo combo. A single mistake from DK, which, let's be real, it's Rise Group, baby.
It's Rise Group, baby.
We still have no idea what's about to transpire in this game, but it is going to feel less and less doable as you start losing control, because I do think for a good wombo combo, unless DK walks face forward into it, which, let's be real, they could, you would need someone to flank, right? Like either Raptor needs to find an angle, you need Kellen to find his way into the back line, Vikla needs to get behind. If you start losing control of lanes early on, I do think that becomes really hard. I don't think DK is quite there yet, though. You can see this as well when you look at the item finishes. Once Shiyu finishes Death Dance, though, if they get Ocean Soul and he gets Death Dance, I don't actually think that they can kill him. And that's a pretty big problem.
They have a lot of burst. They have Corki,
yes,
but I feel like the burst won't do anything. And then if the Corki is hitting the Mbessa for that long, you also have Ryze and Yunara. So it's like, okay, Aiming just gonna run into this one. Thinks he can take the 1v1. He says, I'm Yunara, I'm OP. Flashing in is Diablo, and eventually gets pretty close, but he was going 1v4.
Wait, Vikla, no!
Vikla also going in, as, you know, he's pretty fast with this one. Actually looking pretty good for the side of BNK. The Zhonya's very nice timing here for Vikla, and that's a stun down as Lucid's going in. It's a very broken up fight. The equalizer only on the Lucid as he goes in, and he might be going out into the Death Tamer. Down he goes. Double knockup is here, and Clear is found aiming on the right side. Might be able to take him down. Finally does with that harpoon. As is very much Ryze grouping at this point in time.
Oh, you know I was going to yell it. As we'll see, Clear, I think, a little too early. Maybe by the end of it. I think now he does it, yeah.
Yeah, especially with the shield.
Yeah.
Just making 100% sure. Still going to be very late on the map here.
Yeah, he does a will of TP by the time he's back.
What did they mean by this?
So, well, this is peak Diablo, obviously. Obviously, he has to Valk in here. Aiming needs like 4 buddies. Very unfair. Can't believe that he's not taking the 1v1. Does live. And then this is where things get silly. At first, I thought Vikla was like, why Flash? You're dead. As it turns out, actually, really nicely done here by Raptor. One taps barrel, then Vikla reunites with the rest of his team. This is where things get a little bit silly because DK think they can get the wraparound. So Lucid goes in, but he goes in too early. So he ends up just going down. And then by the time Shiyu does arrive, obviously, his backline is found. Here we are again.
Just Kellen hanging out. He's going to get caught once again. Meanwhile, we got Shiyu in a bit of trouble.
He's Death Dance. He's not.
Yes, Death Dance. He is not going down. And 2 Ocean Drakes, good enough for now. Vikla in a bunch of trouble. He will be biting the dust as well. Clear by himself up against everyone. And he's just clearing the wave. And so another big play here for Dplus Kia, up 6,000 gold.
And it's Diablo by himself, pushing in mid, trying to get anything out of this, but that's going to be Baron, and the Baron is going to lead perfectly into the Ocean Soul as well. And BNK started off strong, but I thought that last play maybe was the signal for a turnaround. Doesn't look like it was the case, as Barrel just finds Kellen. And that was a kind of an awkward angle, because I think even for Kellen, like, where does he actually flash so that he doesn't get hit? Don't know if there really was anything, as Ocean Soul isn't available yet, but it's still level 16 in Bessa. With Death Dance, so Shiyu doesn't end up going down. And I think the composition for BNK has kind of run its course. That fight in the blue buff, I think, is really the turning point for the game. After that, it's still been a lot of back and forth, but DK been getting out ahead mostly, and now BNK are going to need an absolute miracle fight. We're talking multi-man, so I'm talking 3-4-man. Kellen, Raptor, Vikla, clear combos with the ultimates to try and make this one work.
Well, DK knows exactly where they are. They're trying to get the stealth and look for Lucid, but they're not quite going to land the stun. And so Lucid gets away, and now that Snow Kiana ult and Shiyu is in the backline, they're going to throw everything into this Ambessa, who just turns the fight on its head. Big equalizer, though. Going to get 2 already for BNK. Make it a third! BNK are turning the fight around. Showmaker by himself only has Barrel. And they kind of just ran face first into Clear's Rumble, and they didn't know what to expect. As Barrel should be going down, and it will be an ace. It wasn't clean, but it's a huge win for BNK.
And just like that, the 8.5k gold lead turns into 4. Yet another reminder that in Ryze Group, anything is possible if you just believe. So this is the Kiana ult completely whiffs. They throw everything into Shiyu, and then here, Barrel's ult, I think, hits the edge of night, but it's the equalizer, right? That is the big turning point. And the fact that Aiming just kind of gets roasted unceremoniously, ends up going down. And that is Mbessa gone, that is Yunara gone. And that is soul point denied. A ton of bounty gold going in, and I'm pretty sure that means that, look at that, we're basically even again.
Basically even, yeah. The Yunara did 800 damage. And at the same time, Siu, he ulted into the fight, which looked good because it was like the front line, they were just going to chop it down. They felt invulnerable, but they all clumped up in one spot for a Rumble to do 1,000,000 damage. And the Corki as well. I mean, Diablo's just sitting there.
Yeah, Diablo is literally as far as away from a KDA player as you can be, because he did die in that fight. But as long as he maximizes that damage output, you know he won't care. As there we go. This is what we want. We need this whole series
is great,
to just
yeah.
be like the 5 games of this. Just the back and forth.
It's only game 1.
Makes 0 sense. We're like 30 minutes. I think I still like DK's position more at this point in the game.
Theoretically,
yes.
On paper.
On paper.
Yeah.
In a theoretical vacuum, you know.
Yeah.
People play to their win cons, because I think more defensive items are going to come through, which is going to make the burst a lot harder, as Vikla might be by himself here.
Yeah, he's just going to try to turn on the Showmaker because he has nowhere to go. The whole team is coming up here, including Redemption, as he will go into his Zhonya's, trying to buy some time, but just kind of dies after the fact. The Showmaker essentially solo, going to take that one down. Nice little binding here on the clone and the real one. And Kellen is just getting out. They got to deal with Shio in the side lane, so they're going to have to back away from this play.
Now Shio might be a little bit overextended. We'll see. I think they could be looking for a collapse here.
It is BNK, so the whole team's
just
trying to
TP.
move. The Eye's just going to TP. Lots of damage was coming out, but not enough.
Yeah, that's still pretty costly, though. Like, this late in the game, I think TP is a very valuable summoner. We might also get a situation where in like 2 minutes, one team goes for Baron, the other team goes for Dragon. Which would be another example of who knows what's going to happen.
I don't really want to see that happen.
But we probably will. As here, Vikla, yeah, just very far up the lane. Showmaker with the Realm just gets on top. And at this point, Ryze has outskilled the enemy, right? There's just no real way that you're losing this. Even without the Redemption, he was looking very healthy, despite Tibbers kind of wailing away at him. But there was no further follow-up kill, which means there was no real possibility for DK to push much further. As Raptor does have Edge of Night. As I actually thought it was proc there, but I guess Barrel...
Nope, just missed.
Yeah.
Okay, they finally got it, actually. The Rise. And Raptor going to take that one down. So blue buff for the team. And yeah, really just don't know what to expect, as we are going to have the Baron spawning here in a minute. Diablo is looking pretty strong. Just picked up a Last Whisper.
Doesn't have his fully finished 4th item yet, though. As yeah, this game has just been about one player on either side seemingly getting caught. As there is the TP. The deep flank is going to come through from Clear here.
The bottom lane turret is like gone, but they don't care at all about that. They just want to go for the fight.
This is just Rumble. Like, I don't...
Yeah. Meanwhile, the bottom lane...
They need to... They're canceling the backs.
Yeah.
That's just inhib.
Yeah, the inhib's just gone, so the
Wait,
Gambit does not work.
No, Shiu.
No, that's
as
gone
the minions.
down.
Yeah, it's
gone down. Okay.
So that's bot lane inhib gone with Baron in 30 seconds. And Clear TP'd, which was the one advantage they had.
Yeah. They just threw it away. They're like, you know what? That's not fair if we have this advantage. We got to make it even, you know?
Now, Aiming also getting a defensive item, which, good call.
Yeah.
I'm still no closer to knowing who wins this game than I am to figuring out the answers to the universe, Brandon.
I feel like DK, they have the advantage,
yes.
but BNK have the tempo vibes, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get that. Barrel's
after the last fight, you know?
Barrel, why are you here?
Just gonna find a bunch of members of BNK and die. No explanation required. Just accepts death.
Well, that's going to be definitely Drake, possibly Baron. I do think Baron is always a bit of a risk, but they have so much damage here. DK could just look for the cinema ending, though, because the base is open. And Lucid could look to steal.
It's fine.
They don't really have a great way of keeping Jarvan out of the pitch. Showmaker's just TPing to the base! In!
Yeah, but Dplus here. So that's going to be stopped. It's a bit of a 4-on-3. The equalizer, they will have to turn on to Lucid, who just goes in, but it still goes over to Raptor, who lands the smite. Aiming is looking pretty good. And the ult here from Shio is massive. Gets into that back line, and Aiming is doing tons of damage. Will take down Raptor as Kellen just barely gets away. Dplus holding on, trying to survive here, and that he will, as he's got some help as well. And, well, they got the Baron.
They did get Baron. They definitely lose Sulk. I think with
hey, 5,000
that
assists.
could not have happened in a more perfect manner.
Congratulations, Sparrow.
That's impeccable. So no one dies on DK. They will be able to push more. It's definitely going to be a negative gold Red Bull Baron power play.
Well, Barrel nearly dies. And actually might still. Heals coming in, and it's actually just a bait.
It was just all. It was all planned. It was all planned.
They're solo actually. Aiming just not paying attention. I don't know. He just dies. Showmaker also just dies. Just standing there. They got rooted, and so it kind of looked silly. But yeah, they had no other choice but to stand there and die.
You're losing me, Valdez.
It's game one.
It's game one. So, let's break this fight down. Raptor smites have been impeccable. Lucid's too early. They do get that. But Shio is going unchecked in this fight. Aiming doesn't actually... I thought Diablo was going to maybe get his way out there. He doesn't. Still gets, even after the flash, taken down. And all the damage is available. So, DK have a great play. Now, what the hell happened here? I need to know, because this part I got. Okay, Barrel,
I think they got rooted by Nico. Yeah, right here. So it was just like, well...
But then after that, just leave.
Well, they were already
Showmaker, I think Showmaker could have probably maybe left.
Maybe.
I don't know. They got Soul. Gold doesn't matter in this game. We're going to get Elder Flip, presumably.
Yeah.
Which, hey, Elder Flip is going to...
Also hide on bush.
It's like, I'd say favorite towards BNK.
Oh.
Because BNK is the one that has been winning the flips. I do, again, worry about Ambessa and Rise with Soul. That is a big problem. And hey, the Rebel Baron probably, thanks to that play in mid, not going to be negative after all, Valdez.
They're catching up in gold, too.
Yeah.
They're getting some gold in the side lane. You know, they get that inner turret. They're trying to hide on bush.
Executioners is done. We're buying Ward Stones now. Good on you, Kellen.
Nice.
A complete toss-up. No idea.
No clue.
GA's done. You know, Clear kind of stalled. I do really like the Morellos. I think that's a good buy.
BNK have Otacon.
Yeah, they do.
DK have the Ocean Soul, but...
I think, Ocean Soul to me...
I think
it's okay.
Could be pretty good, but I
given
kind of favor BNK.
Given how BNK play their fights, I just don't know how much it'll matter. If it's one of those, it's not a 5v5, but it's a 2v2 versus 1, then I think it's good. And you know what? I would have thought BNK would be clean, but at this point,
no,
no. This is what I was saying at the top of the day. Aren't you just said this is the last Rise matchup we get the whole year?
Yeah, it is. It's really sad.
Like that's upsetting.
That's the end of the Rise group after
in the LCK.
I mean, we'll still have one team from Rise group.
I know, but it's not.
Moving on in the gauntlet.
They still have a chance. Imagine if Rise group wins LCK, Valdez. Imagine the scenes.
Then we'll really have the true, full answer to which group it was better to be a part of.
A conversation that has been...
spans the course of time, eons.
Yes.
It's been quite a while. We've been having this discussion.
Is someone just going to walk in and die? I kind of expect Barrel to like
probably
take a portal and just be stuck in the pit and have to flash.
He almost missed.
No, I know. And then he just has to flash. And like, well, okay.
But it's okay, he's just baiting.
Yeah, maybe.
The bottom lane is kind of in shambles for BNK. At least they got their inhibitor back.
So GA is also done for aiming now, which is good.
Yeah.
Because he has been really struggling to stay alive in these fights. GA isn't done yet for Diablo, who I can't really say he's been struggling to stay alive because I feel like that's not his. It's not really his priority.
He's just kind of going the way Diablo normally goes.
So both teams are going to be looking to, I think in the case of BNK, try to layer as much of their CC onto any targets, really, and just make sure you blow them up. Whereas DK want to kind of try and accept the initial burst and then drag out the fight. They definitely don't want to fight in jungle. They might just pull the trigger here. Wouldn't surprise me. The bigger and wider open the spaces that they fight in, the better. The pick potential for DK is pretty good with the barrel ultimate, but no one's playing sidelines at this point, so I don't know how much that really matters. Real. So contesting vision is pretty easy for both teams. Lucid has his flag. Nico has obviously the clone that she can send out. There isn't really frontline, so everyone does just kind of die. But sidelining is better for DK. I don't know if that'll matter, but that's what they're trying to play towards right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kellen just trying to force something to start, as that is going to be a missed ult and make it to Dplus Kia. Really reaching, it feels like, very far down the lane to try to make the play happen.
A little bit of damage.
Yeah. It's going to be poked out. Showmaker still here in the side lane. BNK don't seem to have a good answer to this.
Okay, they will have vision of Raptor. He TP's back as well. That's definitely quite early. And that's also TP gone. He does have Realm Warp available. Kind of expect BNK to just start this up now?
Yeah, probably should.
Minions are hitting the inhib.
Yeah. Not important for BNK.
Okay, there's a TP. This
TP.
might be it.
It's coming in from Shio, but the engage is onto aiming. They're going to zone him away, but they use quite a lot. Flash and Equalizer and Tibbers. And so they have to pull off of the Baron.
Still to Jace. She was behind them.
Elder about to spawn here in 20
have
seconds. They're going to find Xiu on the backside, but it's only Clear that can do anything to him.
Inhib's down.
They just let it go. They're like, no, we didn't want that anyway.
Well, you kind of do, though.
Nah. They had 2 TPs, and they're like, you know what?
But this is
why save our inhibitor?
I think this is still favorable for BNK. Aiming doesn't have flash. Useless cleanse as well. Yes, you lose the inhib, but you do still have TPs available. It's okay. It's gonna be Elder Flip. It's gonna be Elder Flip.
No flash Tibbers. As they're gonna find Diablo. Can they follow up on it is really the question, as the zoning is there, but Xiu is on the back line. Kellen getting pretty low himself, but Xiu goes into his GA.
They got Raptor!
They did get Raptor as well, and that is going to be huge. The flash exhaust comes in as the kiting will begin, and Vikla doesn't have any help here as the front line just disappears. Xiu still doing a ton of damage. And Diablo just by himself gets flashed on by the Jarvan. And that will be the end of this game. Just a weird fight in the mid lane. No objectives taken. And DK will take it eventually.
And like a good thriller, when you think you know what's about to happen, it takes a left turn. We thought we were gonna get an Elder Flip. We thought it was gonna be an objective fight. No. They just kind of fight each other. And DK somehow get a clean ace. And DK game 1 strikes again, and I don't feel like that's a good representation of the game.
Very convincing fashion.
But I don't really have another way of talking about it, Valdez.
The Zambessa here for Xiu just ended. Alrighty, game number 2.
Come on, show me that phase rush, Shield, please. Please.
생성까지
No!
30초
Grasp.
남았습니다.
Unlucky. Veigar's pretty good into Victor.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why they selected it.
Yeah, you get the skill for free, right?
Yeah.
If he ever walks up late, you have really easy gank setup as well.
Poke potential's very high because you're creating a lot of room.
Yeah, and your composite, like, again, if they had a different top laner, I wouldn't be, if this was the Ambessa game, I really wouldn't be as bothered. But I know she was going to be building full damage.
Really?
Sorry, full tank, no damage. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't end up mattering. Maybe Cassante won't buy 5 MR items every time.
Yeah, I foresee him doing that. And Vikla, you know, he's got a decent amount of damage on his team. He can build tanky and probably be fine.
I also don't like the Victor one bit. I think that you really wanted a mid laner here.
Well, they have one. It's Victor.
Yeah, well, I would appreciate it. Finish Valdez. I'm already tilted enough by these drafts.
If they had a mid laner.
I clearly was going for a pause for dramatic effect. If they had a mid laner that had, like, good follow-up on the Pantheon W or set up for a Pantheon W.
Okay. trading flashes here. It's going to be a win for BNK's bot lane.
I think if they get a bigger... I would have felt better about it if they got a better health trade. Aiming does still have access to the TP, right? So you have to be a little bit careful that you don't trade too much and then end up getting TP'd on and just being behind in tempo for the rest of the game. Showmaker is just going to be looking to stack. Hasn't played Veigar in quite a while, but we have obviously seen it from him before. This is also one of those games where if either Showmaker or Aiming end up building like double Roa, it's going to be really funny. Because then we get to see Ox talk about that on the space.
The last player to play this was BDD into Showmaker. Very different matchup into Talia. We don't know what the jungler was, but you can imagine, you know, BDD definitely a Veigar enjoyer and has pulled it out many a time. But perhaps that wasn't the right game, and this was the perfect spot. Right, Chronicler?
Yeah. I'm just thinking, it could have been Tristana. That wasn't banned, right?
Wasn't banned, no. That was a little miss on the dash, but essentially just two tanks going head-to-head. Eventually, Cassante will make Sion's life hard, but not yet.
As Lucid, should be looking for top crab. As highlighted, Pantheon has already been struggling on this patch. Currently sitting on a pretty substantial loss streak. A lot of those games were also, they were not pretty. They really were very one-sided. I love this though. This is a Raptor classic. Going for the early gank. There's no heal available, no flash on Aiming. Pantheon also has the ability with his Empower W to proc Bromstun immediately.
They don't fully clear the wave, and Kellen is tanking this one up all the way down. First blood goes to the Pantheon, and they deny a tiny little bit away from Aiming.
But that's so big, because the kill went over to Aiming, and he just gets the TP back.
Yeah.
And I think Barrel actually, if I saw it correctly, interrupting... Oh, if he can get the cancel, that'd be huge. Like, doesn't find it there. Okay, so he's going to be able to make his way back, but it's still really rough here for Diablo. I think he interrupted the Pantheon stun, which meant that Aiming didn't get... Because again, when you land the Empowered W, you get the autos, which means that you would instantly proc it. But I think Barrel actually interrupts him mid-dash there. And he still does damage, right? Like, they still get the kill into Aiming.
Yeah.
But given that how that played out, like, I think Callan makes the right call, actually. Because I think that it's better for him to die there and Raptor still be in the play. But it means that it's a positive trade for DK. Because now Aiming does actually have a tempo lead. He's going to now base with his chapter done. And he's going to be feeling great.
Well,
It's gonna be
no chapter done.
Actually, yeah, I thought it was gonna.
Bit of a trade up here in the top lane. Shiu in a lot of trouble.
He has another cookie.
Is Sion. It's getting smacked down. There's the shield. And eventually, who am I kidding? Sion's never in trouble. I was just kind of hoping to make it true. As there's the sun down from Barrel. Vikla getting bullied just a little bit.
Yeah, Veigar doesn't have damage yet. I'm also seeing a Ruby Crystal in Showmaker's inventory.
Yes.
Noticing.
Roa, on the way.
It's
All right, well, level 6. Arcane Storm comes out, and the flash on through. Wanted to press that R button onto Vikla. Just going to trade flashes there.
I don't even think he would have died.
I think he needed another Q.
Yeah, I don't like, or another W hit. I don't think it would have actually died, but it's flash for flash, which I would say favors Vikla, actually. I think Victor has an easier time farming from a little bit of a distance, and the Pantheon ganks are so strong. Now, to offset that, Showmaker is playing Veigar into Pantheon, so he can just cage himself, and Raptor can't really interact with that. As now we have the swap still in place, but yeah, Sion, neither Sion or Cassante are really bothered, but I definitely think Sion is feeling better. He is not building damage, by the way, guys. I know.
No.
I sold you a lie.
Yeah.
I was dreaming of a rift where, you know, Bowsy would have been. He wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
It would have been great. It would have been fun. But if you get ahead early, then none of that really matters. Like the damage, lack of damage, rather, I think isn't going to be the biggest of deals.
They'll figure it out.
You mean BNK?
BNK will figure it out. And build MR.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm worried though.
Should be good.
I don't know if it will be fine.
It'll be fine. For, one side. We'll see which side that is. Diablo kind of just farming under turret. Doesn't look like he's having a lot of fun down here. But gets the whole wave. He's not too far behind Aiming, who now has his chapter finished.
There we go. At least Aiming is not also going for a tanky build. That would have...
Yeah, I think that really would not have been a good idea.
It wouldn't have been. But we're doing a lot of not good ideas already, Feldes. This is early game. Both teams realistically can look at this draft and go, we're playing for spikes, right? We don't really need to do that much very early on. For Diablo, I think you're going to be looking towards your first item spike when you get Essence Reaver. Level 6 being available for BNK is also good. Their ability to quickly take down a single target and collapse on side is really strong with Pantheon. But once DK is entrenched in a position into Ziggs, Veigar, like that sucks. Like that's not a good time. And I think they're too late. Like DK is entrenched. They really get to set up properly here.
Just trying to engage on a Vikla who does not have a splash. He's gonna get caged, and down he will go. First kill for the side of DK will come down to Lucid. Raptor getting on in there, not going to, well, he gets the one grub, but he's not going to get out of here, as that is a couple of kills going the way of Dplus Kia.
2-0 Zins out. That's the solution to the future troubles, Feldes.
There you go.
As BNK, I was really worried about them trying to contest, and it just backfires immensely. I feel like with Pantheon in particular, you really need to get value out of his ultimate in the initial setup and find a big pick, but they don't really have that. DK, again, is already entrenched. I think you should have just played for sides here. As Vikla just walks up, doesn't have flash again because of the previous play, and just dies. And like, yeah, Claire gets the ultimate from, or the flash from Shiu, that's nicely done. But Raptor takes a ton of damage very early on. And if BNK isn't starting a fight by like isolating one target, blowing them up, they're not going to win the fights. Like, they're not going to win the team fights without Pantheon there, who again, didn't really get to play the game. Victor was already taken down. And if you actually are just front to backing, I think DK's comp just kind of walks over you, and now Aiming is accelerated. Lucid is going to have an accelerated, is going to base now and going to pick up that Sundered Sky. I think DK are feeling good. Now we do know, again, that what's the line? Like, past success is no guarantee. Baby. Well, yeah, but past success is no guarantee for future success.
Something like that, yeah.
Which I think does apply to any Rise Group team, really.
Yeah, I mean, BNK had a lead in game one. They did throw that lead.
Very good.
And it went back and forth.
Yes. This
DK eventually won. So maybe DK get the lead here, and then they throw that lead, and then BNK eventually win.
I'm also fairly certain that the win rate for DK in Game 2 specifically is really low. I don't know what it is, but as a DK fan, I know it's low. For BNK though, I think it's also a good opportunity to kind of talk about the journey the team has had. I think the fact that they were able to, nice catch there, but I think Shiu unfortunately is very tanky.
Yeah. I think you can still talk about the journey of BNK.
Because I really, even if they do end up losing this game, which I think by no means is a given, and they'll be down match points, they have been having such a crazy turnaround of the year. Because I remember thinking, like, at the beginning of the year that they were actually going to be really struggling, even going into like round 3 and 4. I think we saw particularly the solo laners really struggle, and the resurgence that Clara and Vikla have found. As in comes the ultimate, and I keep getting distracted, and I really shouldn't. I should know.
Going back in, still Sion. It's actually a lot of damage. He's looking for something.
Doesn't have flash, and there's a turret, so
yeah.
Diablo, don't check that brush. Don't do it.
Did you say check that brush?
So,
all right, here we go. They're going to find Raptor over the top. The Ziggs bomb comes in, and Raptor, they're just going to turn on a Kellen instead and let Raptor go. Not sure about that, but either way, they get the surefire kill in the trade.
Should be the Dragon going over as well. That is a heavy investment, though. That's 2 flashes. But yeah, so this is one thing we also need to talk about. What's the engage for BNK? Like, how do they actually start a fight?
Engage
again, into Ziggs and Veigar.
Yeah, engage Braum.
Maybe my waffling about damage profiles just turns out to be moot. It just doesn't matter at all.
XXO.
And I just looks, oh my god. And I just look silly, Valdez.
I mean, they do have a 3-0 Xin Zhao with Sunder Sky.
Okay, I know he's really good for 80 damage now, but let's be real. If we go full Rise group.
So Daniel Longs Harrison made a very good point in our group chat. He said, DK are convinced that Lucid can do 47k damage again, so that they don't need any other AD.
Wait, I should have known that. You know, this is why I'm happy that I'm giving over the reins of the Lucid fan club to him, because he knows these things.
He knows.
No,
yeah.
I didn't see the angle. That's on me.
I mean, Lucid was the guy, so
that one Xin Zhao game, he was.
He did, yeah.
For BNK though, I want to see them actually utilize the power of particularly the Freeman unit of the Pantheon, the Lucian, and the Braum. And that, I think, investing that early dive was a good call. It just didn't end up working out. That could have been a very different game. Say that Diablo gets that kill, and they start there rolling early. They take down aiming. He ends up going down. They can play through that, but I'm worried for BNK that after teams having seen more of how much attention they pay towards bots, even Bengi mentioned it in the pregame interview today, that teams have been able to anticipate a little bit about that, or anticipate that and be able to respond appropriately. Also, you know, the more I think about it, the Veigar angle is just like Diablo as well, playing Lucian and he dashes in and then he just gets caged and then he's just sad.
Yeah, it's very hard for the Lucian to approach. You basically just have to try to culling them down and hope you do enough damage to maybe get the execution after the fact.
So we're playing for Herald in about a minute. But I find solace in the fact that this is Rise Group and there is no way that this is just a clean game to win. Like, it's just not going to happen. There's no shot.
That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I do agree. Lucid is actually a raid boss. Diablo doesn't get to play the game. Really did not want to flash, but now he's got to get away from the redemption kill. This is already complete here for Beryl.
I swear. Oh, Raptor, you might have to flash.
Yeah, he definitely will have to. I don't know if that's going to help him, though, as he might just die first. There's the R button press from Showmaker, and he is down. T+ Kia controlling everything around this early game.
So that's Flash and Barrier gone on Diablo. Beryl showcasing again that he is, in fact, the most aggressive redemption user we have. Healing is irrelevant, you know, he wants to max out the damage stats for that. For BNK though, the early dive didn't end up quite panning out, but just like we had the jungle fight in the previous one, for me here, that early Herald fight, I think they bit off more than they could chew in here. Kellen Diablo trying to fight a little bit for position, but like the rest of the team just isn't in a position. And yes, you can have your Pantheon ult in, and Victor is on the flank. But you got to play that slower, and you definitely got to make sure that Diablo isn't the one that is threatening us. Yeah, you guys couldn't see the face Valdez made, but I don't know about that one. Raptor, that definitely, we knew they were there.
It's kind of like getting baited by the vision they have rather than playing safe around the vision they don't have, which is what they should be doing, especially after losing one. Engage Braum comes in. They're going to find Beryl. In goes the Pantheon. Gets in the cage, actually. Diablo and Kellen, though, zoned away, as eventually Beryl kind of fail flashes and will go down here. But Diablo pretty low. Let's see what will come of this fight now, as she was just going to land that full Q as in goes the cage, and that Cassante not very safe here. Showmaker says, nobody can get close to me. Raptor trying to frontline for the team. They will take down Lucid, actually, but the bomb gets him on the backside. Vikla continuing to go here up against Showmaker, as eventually the Braum, or rather Raptor does bite the dust, and Showmaker actually gets the kill at the very end with the Q. Just takes him out. Just like that.
And the Yordles reign supreme in this one, Valdez! As neither aiming nor Showmaker goes down in that fight. It's a mess, but I love the start of this fight for BNK. This is what you want, a segmented fight, an attempt at taking down some of the crucial members, but Showmaker doesn't go down. Barrel going down really doesn't matter that much. Very funny flash barrel, do appreciate that. That's great stuff. But then here, I think that it makes sense that they want to go for this. But a great ultimate from Shiyu sets up the first kill, and then Vikla doesn't have that much damage. I think could have played more aggressive with his health bar, but with the bomb from aiming, there's just too much damage available here. He's heavily accelerated, and Showmaker again is getting maximum value out of the extra tankiness that he gets with that roll-up. And the game is, I think, nigh unplayable here, barring a colossal throw from DK. And BNK, they're going to keep trying, but it's not working!
They're going in onto mines. I mean, Diablo trying to tank this one out, essentially. Lucid, though, caught out, and eventually does go down. The Showmaker gets there a little bit too late.
Okay.
Not his fault, of course, but that's a kill over to the side of BNK.
Possible double dragon angle.
Yeah, I mean, getting this first Hextech Drake certainly makes their lives a lot easier, as DK are going to have a lot less pressure. Even though they have a 4,000 gold lead, if you're not building up the Drakes, up the objectives, you're giving a chance over to BNK to come back in this game.
Contesting is really risky, yeah. I think DK also realizes that. Barrel doesn't have smite.
Gotta find Kellen, but actually it was a bait, and Clear just kind of misses. All right, there's the slow and the stun follow-up, and Showmaker is just dead. No flash for him, and it's a shutdown going over to Diablo.
There we go. There's my rice group. I knew it was coming. As too much damage gets thrown into Diablo, he ends up surviving. Lucid ends up going down. That is so much of their damage just gone immediately, of their consistent damage, I should say. As we take another look here, as they go in onto the Braum, but again, a lot of damage going into the Braum, and more importantly, Diablo doesn't actually die here. So they go in, he lives, Lucid overextends, doesn't have enough Sundered Sky procs to save his life, and Vikla arrives to the fight earlier than Showmaker. And then here, it starts off a little silly, because Claire tries to go for the flash W, does not quite hit it, but they still get the slow. Showmaker ends up going down. Way too much damage available. That's a kill going over to Diablo. That's a lot of gold into that Lucian. And look at that. The gold lead, not quite where we need to. 1-1 Herald fight, Veldes. And things are right back where they should be. In perfect equilibrium.
Yeah.
This fight is really hard, though. There's 2 items done on almost everyone of DK. And I don't think you can approach this Herald. So you got to be very careful, as aggressive stature from aiming, but doesn't really follow it up with much more damage.
It's fine if there's no engage on the enemy comp, right? You're not really being not really being threatened. And here comes Shiyu, the flash into the sun. Diablo just needs to get out of the fight right now, although Lucid is going so deep for this Lucian, and I think he just dies to Cassante instead. So Lucid seeing blood in the water, but now he only sees his own. Kind of unfortunate there. Some low health bars, though, on the side of BNK, so maybe DK can roll into something here.
It also means that they can't do the Herald. I kind of want to see how that happened, because I feel like the fight also moved away from him. Gonna have to do another checkup, but that might mean the Herald goes over. So starts off with a lot of damage. Diablo dashes in, so does Kellen, but the engage bomb does not hit the mark. And then Shiyu goes in onto the backline here. But what is the rest of DK doing? So they are keeping safe, because Raptor goes in on Showmaker, so Lucid ends up being overextended by himself, and that's going to be the Herald going over here to BNK. Smite is there. Now DK might look immediately for Otacon. That wouldn't surprise me.
It's pretty early, but, you know, might as well, I suppose. You know, Lucid was 3-0 in this game. Now he's 3-3. I feel like we've had this situation where these teams, these players, they get ahead and they feel like they're just invulnerable. And they just feel like they can do anything. Lucid, notwithstanding. He is going to start up the Otacon.
I think, yeah, they can definitely take this, though. I don't really think there's a great position here for BNK. And I wish that DK played a little bit more towards just playing. That's the most Diablo dash I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm like, tell that to BNK. They're going to make a position.
I just don't think you can approach here. Like, your engage just isn't good enough.
Well, what if you just force it?
With the Herald, let's go!
Yeah, just force it. And now you're, okay, well, your Pantheon is very far away from the Heralds, or the Otacon, rather, and, yeah, no, I have no idea. She was just going to ult away, and they just get the Otacon for free.
You know that SpongeBob meme where like Squidward's in his house and he's looking at the people?
Yeah.
That was Raptor like looking like, no, my Otacon! They're taking it!
He could have just hit the right wall.
Yes.
And maybe he gets himself in a bad spot, but
Pantheon, you have E.
better than whatever this was.
Truly the wisest of groups. As yeah, so we take a look here. The knockups are nice, but the zone control is insane. Meaning that the rest of the team can't really walk up until it's already too late. The fact that no one blocks Shiu there as well, because if you just get ahead of him, you at least get a kill for your efforts. Well, that's not the case. So that's now a lot of experience going towards DK. And Showmaker is about to hit the threshold as well on his ultimate. And now the gold leads are there, but BNK will always be fighting to do that. Third item is done for Diablo. That's a big power spike on the Lucian here. Drake's up in 15, and this time it is BNK that has control of the area, and for DK, reclaiming is going to be slow and steady.
Yeah. They can just throw a bunch of stuff into the bush and threaten. As clear, yeah, he's getting that angle. The Event Horizon is down, and Lucian has to Crescent Guard already. And yes, Redemption comes down, but they just run away. Maybe a re-engage here, a re-contest.
Yeah, Lucid's going to try and heal. They're going to look for the fight here, I think. But Soulpoint's going to go over for now to BNK.
Yeah, and they throw everything in that they possibly can outside of the smite, of course, so it just goes to BNK. And Claire's like, well, we could fight, but why? We don't really need to. We got the objective. And they have taken 2 Drakes down 4,000 gold in a row. So now they're looking for Shiu here. He does have his ult, so he just presses that. Little satchel in mid. And so DK are getting more gold on the map.
That they are. We're gonna get back to the conversation though about my worries about the damage late game for DK. As I think we're already seeing some of it where they have a lot of burst, but the consistent damage isn't that great because you're lacking an 80 carry as the fight comes through.
All right, they're just TPing in behind enemy lines.
Wait, and Raptor can ult in as well. Clear is on his way.
Raptor can for sure. BNK say, we want to fight, and we will have a fight. As there's the Event Horizon. Gonna...
Is that just it?
Zone them away.
So we just trade TP for TP and we leave?
Yeah. They're just really good at controlling space. But I feel like if BNK could start a fight, they should.
They want to. That's a risk.
All right, Culling's gonna come down once again. The stun gonna hit the Scion, but everything is thrown into Shiu. So that's not the target they were looking for, and immediately BNK are backing away.
We're just brawling in the river. Is Shiu okay? Like, he's really far up. Is he just dead?
You mean Clear?
Sorry, Clear.
Is, maybe. He is Cassante, and he's not quite going to time that correctly. As down he will go. Lucid does have to go into the Crescent Guard, but yeah, Clear not taking the correct path.
I'm 99% sure you can't actually, unless you are on the spot as it comes down, because you can't simultaneously be like being invulnerable to the stun while proccing the W, so you just end up dashing back into the wall.
He was just trying to time it, but...
Yeah, I think you just... For again, having played a good amount of Veigar, I think you just can't dash out of that unless you're on the cusp and have the W ready. But that's like, it's just a kill. It doesn't really change too much. I think BNK, I know the gold lead doesn't look great. I know they're down pedals and levels. I just got a feel.
You got a feeling? Yeah.
Is this the tempo?
Is this tempo?
Can I read them? Or am I just...
You only understand how to read them as you're leaving, you know?
Yeah.
You only gain that power at the very end.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good character arc.
Yeah.
Next time, I gotta admit curses are real, and then it's just, that's a full wrap.
You should.
No.
I mean, okay, we're just dashing into melee range of the Scion. And that's gonna be the flash setup, but Diablo, who's gonna take the bomb to the face too, as there's the engage from the bait, but he just dies. And now we have a flank coming in. Diablo in a lot of trouble. He's immediately going to start going the other way, but Flash comes in and you can't get away from the Xin Zhao. Clear zoned away on the right side, and Raptor all by his lonesome is continuing to go in, gets the kill, as Sundered Sky, more OP than Sundered Sky in this case. And
Clear's gonna get the execute again.
he's just clearing the wave too.
Oh, I like that. No! I thought Showmaker was further away. He wasn't.
So did Clear.
Okay. Diablo, I have defended you many a time. This sequence of play, though. So he ults in. I think he's lucky, actually, that aiming knocks him out of the Cyan knockup. But he also, I think, walked back into a bomb.
He did, yeah.
And then...
It was all bait,
Well, yeah.
right?
Yeah. I thought so for a second, but unfortunately... We've talked a lot about the damage struggles for the DK comp. This is a good opportunity to talk about the damage struggles for the BNK comp. Because they have Victor, who isn't real yet, especially...
Banshee build second.
Banshees, which I actually think makes... Like, I think that this is one of those games where it makes sense. But also, so Victor doesn't do damage. And then you have Pantheon, who's just behind. And then you have Cassante. Doesn't have a second item yet. And then you have just Lucian, who just dashed into BNK, no!
What happened to Clear building 5 MR items, by the way?
Oh, I didn't want to talk about it because it makes me very mad. Yeah, I'm really...
It doesn't seem like he got the assignment correct, you know? He like that asked his friend what the assignment was, but he gave him one from like last week.
I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay, yeah.
It's okay. BNK are just going to get sold. And then none of that other stuff matters. And they'll just slow DK down.
Will they?
Although I do think DK is definitely going to be looking for a flank here. And Shiyu has been really good on these engages on the Scion.
Yeah. Flank Scion.
The Raptor doesn't have flash, but he can go for the ultimate in. If Raptor steals this, they get soul. That could be a win condition for BNK, Valdez.
Yep, absolutely could be. We have TP coming in from the Victor as potential stun here from the engaged Braum. Clear on the backside. So you're doing a good job of zoning everybody away. As Kellen is just dead, but a lot used into the Braum, I suppose, as the sun is going to miss. It's knocked into the side by the blast cone. That's how I like to see it used. As Diablo now in a lot of trouble, nowhere for him to go. And it is just an absolute slaughter in favor of Dplus Kia. And they will take down this dragon as well.
And that should be, maybe not the Nexus falling, but the end of the game. I think DK are about to go up 2-0 here. And yeah, they're just going to look to end. They have a lot of damage here towards structures with Ziggs. No one with wave clear is up anytime soon. There's pushing to end.
Well, we got 13 seconds on Cassante. That's going to be the first member that actually is able to try to do something. Kellen will have to somehow get in and try to block some shots onto the turrets, perhaps, but it doesn't look like there's enough time. Down he goes, and Clear is up, and all they got to do is hit that Nexus, and they have so much AP that they can. They're just going to get the kill. It's 2-0 to Dplus Kia. 30 minutes for Game 2.
Dplus actually end up winning a Game 2, perhaps the most surprising.
Trickery.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Okay, game number 3. Last chance, first last chance here for the side of BNK. And we'll see if we get a series on our hands at any point tonight, or if DK were just the better team all along, and prove it here in game 3.
Or the best of 5 between these two team and play-ins being still fresh in our minds. BNK, I think, really blowing us away back then with really good prep. But it was more than just the prep, right? Because we talk a lot about the draft, and I think particularly in Fearless, that's always warranted. But they also were just good. There was really clean objective setups. They had what I think was the cleanest Otacon we'd seen in Rise Group the entire year, which was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Remember that one where they just had Raptor like do it and the rest of the team was just meticulously peeling, and then
it's like what we wanted from them in game 1, and then they just kind of dropped the ball
The first
since then,
15 minutes were peak.
The ball's been on the ground. They never picked it up again.
No, it's still, we can see it, in fact.
And Oriana's been banned every game.
And that can't be how the final Rise versus Rise matchup pans out. That just can't be it.
Just wouldn't make any sense.
It'd be disappointing is what it is. As unfortunately, even though MF is strong, he does also have the giant walking cow cannon minion. That is Alistar. So he's going to have to...
At least it heals.
Yeah, give up control. You also have to be very careful about taking too much damage, because Raptor will try to dive you if you are too low. So you have to be really careful with trading too much health if you are the bot lane of DK. And obviously Shiu wants to just bully the Renekton as much as possible. Jace really hasn't been great, but this is not the best matchup for Renekton, as obviously he won't be able to take control of lane early. That happens in a lot of matchups, but it's also just consistently really hard to reliably get on top of the Jace. And Shiu also, I think with the Conqueror in particular, like early game, will just win the poke, win the all-in, and until or unless he gets ganked or pressured, will just be doing this the whole time.
Just
not very fun for the Renekton.
You know, just shooting the Croc over and over. It's Wukong on a 5-game winning streak. 2 of those were Cuz. One of them was Lucid. He's playing it here up against Raptor, who was another one of the wins. This bottom lane seems to be going pretty well for the side of BNK. Just a lot of pressure coming in from the Rakan, and then you've got Diablo ready to step up at any time.
The lane position is really awkward here for DK, because the lane is pushing away from them, but they are kind of losing the 2v2. We'll see if they're able to fix it, but this is looking very good for Diablo and Kalinir early on, and they have not been able to really showcase us the same performance as Lucid. Looking for a dive here towards Clear.
Yeah, meanwhile, we got to play in mid, but yeah, it's going to be a quick first blood going the way of DK as Showmaker just accepts his fate. Doesn't even flash. He says, I'm too far up the lane here, and it gets traded back.
Kind of wondering what happened to Showmaker, though. I think maybe because he TP'd already. So I don't know if he TP'd early because he took a couple of bad trades, or if he, like, just TP'd in and then tried to bully Vikla as much as possible, but just got bobbed by Raptor. As we take another look here, Shiu gets the cash in, and yeah, Renekton unfortunately this early on. Not that much he can do. The fact he flashes, I think, very unfortunate. And yeah, Showmaker looking for a trade because Vikla's low. And good call, yeah, not to flash. There's just no way you ever live there. He didn't have cooldowns, but even if he did, I don't think Raptor should ever get hit by a knockback because he's Neferi, so he can just go invulnerable. The one upside for BNK is that that kill top went to Lucid, which it's not good because it's bad on Wukong. But like, imagine if Shiu also had a kill on top of the lead he already has. That would have been... Like that, at that point, you just basically have to come top lane, or you are just getting pummeled.
We don't see all that much Jace nowadays, and we have had our decent share of... Okay, well, Vikla's just going to face check here and might be in some trouble. Has to flash. Not sure what the idea was there. But, yeah, we haven't seen all that much Jace, and so sometimes you forget just how powerful he can be in the lane, and I think this gives you an excellent opportunity to maybe carry another game. You know, he got fed on Ambessa, was able to carry that game. Got fed on Sion, was able to carry that game, although that was definitely a team effort. And now you put him in this matchup where you give him counter pick and he's playing Jace. It's definitely a good angle for Shiu enjoyers.
And this is how he started the year, but it's definitely not the form we saw in the middle. And for BNK, it again makes me wonder, wasn't red side the answer in this one? Maybe getting a counter pick instead of going for these, yes, very safe and pretty defendable or easily defended Blight picks as Showmaker.
Well, now it's his turn to face check just a bit. Level 5 is Raptor, but still a lot of damage coming down. As in we go, the Rakan jumping on in, and that's going to be aiming Force to flash away.
That's a really big win. Nicely done there by the 2v2 for BNK. As Raptor, Lucid is alone, but does have W, so it should be fine. Does take some damage for his effort. You cannot be contesting this crab. Showmaker does have ult, so maybe they want to look for a delayed play here.
Well, it seems like they're doing something of the sort as it's going to be Beryl in a lot of trouble, gets swept up, and looks like he should be a casualty here. Down he goes, kill given over to Raptor, who is now 2-0.
Yeah, I thought Showmaker was going to ult in at some point. But now I'm wondering, did he not level ult? Did he like level Q instead? I mean, because
I think that would be kind of a bad idea.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Well, he did have access to it. I'm pretty sure he's still holding on to the skill point. But it kind of makes me wonder if that was a miscommunication there, because I feel like they really wanted to play for that. Aim doesn't have a flash.
Not quite able to get the feathers on the right angle, and it was a good knock-up from Beryl to deny the pullback. So trying to use the level 6 spike was Diablo, hiding on bush.
And gonna take another look at the play here. As Lucid does hit 6 off of this, which kind of made me contemplate for a second whether they want to fight. But like,
Showmaker's too far away.
You don't have mid lane, and your bot lane doesn't have prio. So it is just a kill for Crab, which you're obviously going to be very happy with to take. As now we have the fight for the grubs here. Lucid is 6. And yeah, Wukong into this assassin. He's always going to have a very fun time when it comes to the pure 1v1.
Yeah. Especially with the top lane the way it is, and a TP coming in from Showmaker means that Lucid should be able to get all of these. All 3 of the grubs. Eventually.
Down the line.
Yeah.
At some point. As we'll have to see if there's any counterplay that can be found here, or particularly playing around Raptor. Right, that's kind of what we're looking towards. Can they utilize the relatively fed... Although when you look at the gold, because Lucid also got a kill, the lead isn't that big, but it's still pretty big Neferi. And then Vikla has actually been able to build up a decent CS. I think he snuck into the brush there. They don't know about this.
Now let's see if they can collapse here. A lot of vision in their face, but the Rakan able to get the engage, and Beryl immediately presses that Unbreakable Will and says no.
I do really like that. One of my pet peeves with Alistar is where they like hold the ult, and then by the time they use it, they are just dead.
They're low enough, and they just get chipped away at. Yeah.
The problem that we haven't talked about in a while is top lane, and I don't think it's going to get better for Clear, unfortunately, as this is a wave that's being prepped. Oh boy. Yeah,
he's just going to go forward instead. He says, I'll just die over here instead of under the turret.
I mean, that's all you can do. Like, get the minions. That you were never living there.
Yeah.
So you might as well...
Denied an assist from Lucid.
But it still feels very bad. As Showmaker finally... I remember hearing about the... I forgot where it was, but hearing about the attack of just holding on to the point in your ultimate until you actually need it. Which does make sense, right? Because if you're Talia, you're not ulting somewhere. There's not really a point. Aiming also just clearing the wave, being like, yeah, I'm not pretending to play the video game.
Yeah.
I'm not needed. It's all topside here for DK. As yeah, if it's 2 people, like maybe you can live as Renekton if you get really find the big outplay, but just take the wave and take the death. Unfortunately, there for Clear, and that's now a 1,000 gold lead chase.
Yeah. So the thing, I mean, you're giving this to not only the champion, but the specific player who we know can carry in these pressure situations now. He has really leveled up over the course of play-ins and playoffs and deserves that amount of respect. But Clear thought he could handle it with a blind pick Renekton, and we're seeing that the answer is absolutely not. Not so far.
B&K, at least Diablo's in a decent spot. They weren't really able to like push the lead further. They didn't have any dives or any actual punishment, which again at MF I think will always be hard. But also makes me kind of appreciate, I thought that DK was going to try and play towards this MF a lot more, but she is just being used as basically like bot lane rumble. You know, it's fine, just have your ult ready for when we need it, clear waves, absorb CS, don't drop too many plates.
Yeah.
There isn't too much you can do as now, Triforce done for Lucid. Shiu, of course, already got on the previous back that Ghost Blade. And top lane is going to keep bleeding. And like, I really also don't feel like any of Clear's gameplay has been an issue. He got dove, and I got dove again.
Yeah, he's just playing Renekton into Jace. As now he's gonna get in range and just gets kited out.
Oh no, okay, that was not good.
And now Lucid's coming in.
Oh no, not the war timing. That feels so bad.
Just wait for Kellen. Surely you can just play safe top. It's okay. He's gonna flash away, and he gets cycloned again. And Kellen never gets there on time, not in a million years. So that's going to be another kill. And this one goes over to Lucid once again.
And there's no cross map. Because Kellen used his time to try and still salvage Clear's position. So they can't collapse on the aiming. Who again also has both the summoners available. There's also a Talia in mid, so could rotate over. So what did they get? Like, I think Raptor got an invade off. That's something. But BNK, I think really looking out of sorts in this one, and Shiu is just becoming a complete win condition package. A single shot blast from him hitting now is just going to take Diablo out of a fight, by the way.
Yep.
Like, Zaya's not going to get to play the game until much later.
You don't need Ziggs if you have Omega fed Jace. It's not quite old school Jace, but it still gets the job done if you have enough money.
Oh, are they just going to dive bot now? No, leave Clear alone. Come on. He suffered enough!
What do you mean? You gotta follow the croc.
No!
Yes!
Oh, come on. Oh,
Punish again!
he's so dead.
Yeah, there's no winning. They're even gonna
They're just
heal their way
diving.
in. It's, yeah, might as well, I guess. As now trying to make a play in mid. They're trying to get Shiu, but instead it's Raptor who's in a lot of trouble, but actually baits him in as Kellen does join the fight. Showmaker is pretty low, but he is going to get away just barely.
And I'm getting increasingly worried that we're just watching our final Rise versus Rise battle end with a win. That can't be the way, Feldes. We gotta get a resurgence here. Maybe another comp play from DK could pull it back in favor of BNK, obviously, because it's Otacon. So
yeah,
because that bot lane dive means that's Feats going over. That's Shiu making the play in mid, right? Making sure that Showmaker doesn't end up going down. They do get a bunch of summoners, but a lot of invested by BNK themselves. And now bot lane. Outer is gone. They were unable to trade in top, even though Vikla attempted it. BNK, I think, again, in this game as well, not really able to deal with the pressure.
Yeah. Game's not over. We've seen that...
Oh, anything is possible.
Our games have been, especially game one, was all over the place. But that was BNK with the lead, and they kind of threw that, and DK were the solid team. DK were the solid team again in game two, so...
That's the really worrying part.
Yeah, there is a trend as Diablo just doesn't have his Feather Storm, so he has to flash after Beryl came in.
Yeah, they're not contesting any... He's playing into Wukong. And Talia, like, you just don't...
It's BNK, though. I could see a world where they're like, no, we're going to fight this, and then they just get absolutely boomed, which certainly worries me for their chances. They're not going to fight over this objective, of course. Maybe the next one.
You can do it, Showmaker. Crap's just kind of stuck there as a...
Yeah. All right, nice knockback to delay the sweep, but it doesn't quite matter as Shiu is going to go down. Redemption comes in. Lucid also goes down. And it's a 3-0 Nafiri. And Vikla got a shutdown. Just look at that massive gap in mid lane now.
There it is. Look at that gold lead, Feldes.
What gold lead?
Exactly! Diablo does have his ultimate available, so even in the worst scenario, should just be able to ult out of the tough position, as he does. Look at Raptor, though. He's on the flank.
You mean ult in, right? As Beryl, yeah, he's going to have to press that Unbreakable Will. And yeah.
That Redemption, I think, actually saved that play. Otherwise, Shiu will stay alive for a little bit longer. Lucid gets the counter kill. But I want you to look at the value that they get here from just Kellen finding it. And the man advantage means that Lucid probably should have just dipped. Instead, tries to get the counter kill there onto Vikla, which is even more gold going into the pockets of BNK, and then they get the top lane turret as well, which means that they might be looking for Dragon here, but DK is there to contest. Can they?
We got TPs coming in. Showmaker
Yes, the flash.
an item, and he's dead. Yeah, so the TP is able to get in behind, and Showmaker just kind of dies. So Drake going their way, BNK that is.
So that's double Dragon. They got a giant gold lead now onto Vikla. Showmaker has been made very uncomfortable and will remain so, I think, for the foreseeable future on this Taliyah. With the BNK angle. We're getting there, Valdez.
Somehow these two teams just find a way, you know?
Raptor has 2 items at 17 minutes.
Right.
That's a big Neferi.
It is.
That's a scary dog.
Can kind of do whatever he wants. She
Yeah,
was
now
running very far away.
She was not safe because he knows he can get dove very easily. There's no one in the area to protect him, and Claire's like, now you know how it feels, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still a hard game for BNK because I do think that Wukong is just kind of busted. But these skirmishes look a lot better. 2 dragons is big.
Really, a lot of the onus in this one will come down to Vikla. If he can actually carry with his lead that he has on, you know, we talk a lot about how Wukong is very OP, and he is, but we never get to see his ear because he's also really OP, and you know, it really comes down to Vikla, who has been put on stuff like Morgana and Annie every series.
I do love this lane assignment.
Can he do it?
Both Showmaker and Claire are just like, yeah, I know how it feels, buddy. Showmaker didn't quite get focused as much as Claire did, I would say, but still got visited a good amount of times. Mid lane, turret would be big here for DK. Herald comes down.
It's a lot of chip damage in a barrel. Now the Herald kind of up against a rock and a hard place. Has to kind of curl around, and there it is. We'll take down the mid turret with like 300 health left. And Lucid gets out alive, of course.
A little close. Second item done for Shiu as well. Diablo, I think the breakpoint for him is going to be free. So that's still a good amount of time away. But Raptor and Vikla are insanely strong right now. And even when put behind, Renekton, one good flash W and some cooldowns getting forced. You know, just diving into the backline. If you end up dying, as long as you create space for Raptor and Vikla, it doesn't really matter that much. Just one more games, Valdez.
It might just happen.
I do hope so, yeah.
BNK have found a way to pull it back.
Can't just be a free 0.
Nobody predicted 3-0 either way.
Nobody.
For a reason.
Because it shouldn't be.
It's just, it's not okay. We can't have it be a thing.
They did 2-0 and 3-0 each other a lot. Well, not 3-0, I guess, but they did 2-0 each other a lot. So maybe it's just a day-by-day thing. Okay, we're by we, I mean DK is going to have to deal with this other con, because BNK is starting it. Aiming is running, but they have so much, it might just be gone. Like, look at where Lucid is. I think this is just gone.
They do this so quickly, especially with Diablo on it now, as it's down to 6K, and everybody's so far away. Lucid is nowhere to be seen, and this is just going to be a free Otacon going the way of BNK. Beryl says maybe a little, some free steak as well on top of it, is not quite. Clear is going to have to flash here in mid. Meanwhile, the follow-up engage comes in. The Featherstorm utilized. Diablo just flashing out of there. He wants none of this.
Shiu
just kind of dead. Raptor, though, going to get engaged on. Goes invulnerable. Now he's going deep for another one. Gets another kill. Yes! And he's out! Incredible aiming. It's just going to ult into the abyss as he was caught. And Raptor showing this Neferi's power. 6-0 after that fight.
Otacon alone would have been a big win. But guess what? BNK not done with this series just yet. As, oh my god, Raptor. As we take another look here, first the attempt from DK to collapse onto the Renekton. That doesn't quite work out. It's the turn here that I thought, even though Lucid gets charmed immediately, doesn't get that much, he gets a lot of cooldowns. But then I think here, Shiu just overextends into Vikla, ends up getting taken low, and then Raptor with these reasons. I thought he was dead. That play looks like it shouldn't work, but guess what? It does. And when it gets messy, the mobility of the BNK team and the fact that they weren't able to take down Clear, I lose a lot of cooldowns on him. As let's take a look at the first-person view here.
Got Jace. It's looking good. No flash on Talia. A handshake. They're believers now. Please, one game.
They got soul point as well off of that play. I think that's enough.
Kind of feels like the game fell out of a, I don't know. Like there was a trap door or something and DK fell out the bottom and then that was it. Being
yeah,
like,
well,
oh, okay.
It is, I'm always cautious. We did have game one where it kind of went back and forth a lot of times, but I think BNK's teamfight is so good in this one, as we did see Soulpin being taken as...
All right, gonna find Diablo on the front side, but he is Zaya, so yeah, he's gonna get hit by the aggressive redemption. But there's no objectives on the map at this point, so I am not sure that they care too much about that.
Getting the ultimate is nice, but it doesn't do enough by itself, as there we look again, that mid lane gold lead, Veldas.
What is that?
DK thought, it's fine, we can give Azir, and then we'll take Talia. That's a good... He's down 2 levels. He's down 3k gold. As it turns out, it did not work. And DK, I think, going to continue having a bad time in this one. But the main character, as well as Vikla's been playing, is obviously going to be Raptor. On this Neferi,
he can't be punished. Like, he just runs into the bush and just puts down a ward and says, okay, you know, if you try to do anything, I just go up in the air.
We can't even slander him because he doesn't even build Sundered Sky.
Yeah.
There's no slander angle.
He's one of the only guys that consistently plays Neferi as well. So it's not even like, oh yeah, this champ is just OP. Like if he was playing Wukong and doing this, would be like, yeah, you know, he's really utilizing the strength of a really strong character. No, he's just
good.
Really good at Neferi.
It's just good.
It's just good. There's no angle.
Lucid has been continuously looking for these backline plays. But it does go back to, I think, him and Shiu getting caught out towards the top side. Ooh, that is on a deep angle. Will get spotted there. That is going to be just a bit of a pullback here for BNK. We are nearing Baron, which we have seen some teams go a little bit overeager, but like the level leads are just insane. And this is, I think, the biggest advantage of that Otacon. Level lead in top, almost 2 level lead in jungle, 2 level lead in mid. It's big. It's a lot of cooldowns, a lot of stats that are available here for BNK as well. Like, look at the flashes. Will be all up for them. Meaning actually punishing Diablo is going to be so much harder.
Yeah, I'm not really sure they can do it. I mean, they have to find a really good angle. They have to pop the cooldowns, and then they have to follow up. Like, first Cyclone has to force everything, and then second Cyclone or like an Alistair follow-up needs to get in there. It's very difficult to go that deep.
Has GA.
You remember, you were talking about the Xayah ban.
Yeah.
And it just feels like if he was playing anything else, maybe they would have access to this 80 carry, but they just don't, and there's 2 other big threats. So it's very difficult for DK from this position from behind to actually find engages. As speaking of which, engage from the side of BNK.
They're so strong. They have GA, free items as
goes. Just gonna press the buttons on aiming, I suppose. Raptor gonna force redemption.
She was on the flank.
He does have Bloodthirster. So that doesn't do a whole lot. Now the wall's going to come down. That flank comes in. The knockback doesn't hit anything.
Clear's there.
Yeah, Clear going to find that angle, and now the front line all charmed up. Showmaker not a part of this fight as they try to get out to Diablo, but the wall comes up from the Azir, and they shut the door in their face as Ian goes Lucid, just desperate for something. They will take down Clear with an ult from aiming, so that is one. As Lucid, kind of a very short pull on that clone, but he will be okay.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get over the wall, but doesn't have to use cooldowns. 1-for-1 trade, the best you can get, but that might also be a setup for the Dragon here. We'll see DK. The timing, I think, here is just okay for them. I think they might be able to make it back. As we take another look, if Showmaker actually gets Diablo there, but almost gets the wall knock-up into the other knock-up, could have been big. Instead, Showmaker ends up taking a lot of damage. The front line just gets shredded by Vikla, by Raptor, by Diablo. But Barrel, even though he ends up going down, I think still creates the space that allows him to take down Clear. Clear definitely going a little bit too deep there. We'll see though, they need to contest this. Oh, never mind, they have Soul. I'm like, they need to no, it's
yeah.
gone. I thought that maybe with the gate and the fact that Clear wasn't there, they could do something, but not the case.
So just Ocean Soul.
Yeah, Jace doesn't mind that, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
It would definitely help if Showmaker was
a champion.
Was a champion right
He's
now.
Not. Yeah.
He's really not. I mean, he's gone full utility.
It's so funny with Taliyah Pantheon where I feel like when we do see them, we're like, is this it? Why are they getting permabanned?
Yeah.
What's happening? As Lucid, all or nothing here. You gotta steal this one. Otherwise, B&K are gonna bring us to a next game. Oh, he doesn't have clone. Well, I have to flash.
Yeah, and it just looks like he is gonna get knocked up. There's the, goes over to Xayah. Very close there, actually, but Lucid will bite the dust, and this is going heavily in favor of B&K after the take of the Baron, as they will take it down. Showmakers in the bottom lane.
They knew.
And the game looks to be over, guys.
Yeah, Showmaker, like the hard commit to try and, you know, steal and or get an exit kill while Showmaker's in there. B&K bounce back in a big way. Make sure that we don't actually. He's gonna
wall.
Will they be able to stall? I don't think it really matters.
You're gonna buy like 5 seconds?
Might be enough.
In they go, flash away from Showmaker, spending a lot of time chasing.
It's not enough.
The Taliyah, and aiming is gonna spawn. I mean, the turret is still alive. And there's the ult on the wave. Everybody has to kind of flash out of there, at least Raptor did.
Barrel's dead.
Barrel is dead. Nexus turret is gonna fall. B&K have to play this one out very carefully, as aiming just gonna disappear. And it looks like maybe the wallets are just big enough as they get the knock up there onto the chase. And we will be having a series on our hands. It's actually happening here as DK not able to close out a lead, and B&K take game number 3.
I knew Rice Group wouldn't let us down, as it is Vikla having a wonderful game on the Azir. Actually making that first pick work, but let's be real, that was all Raptor. Having a stellar performance. Also, the recon from Kellen I thought was actually, outside of the early game, very impactful once he made his way onto the map. And B&K lives to fight another game here, Valdez. True to Rice Group, Valdez.
I think we gotta have it. It's not exactly what we expected, but also very curious to see how Showmaker's going to make this Zoe work alongside of Lucid's Lee Sin. Lots of comfort here for the side of Dplus Kia. Let's hop on the rift for game 4.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Game number 4, definitely thought we were going to get here at the start of the day, but after the first couple of games, I was like, oh, I guess maybe it's just a 3-0. But not to be the case. As B&K struck back.
Oh my god.
And Showmaker went Ignite.
There's no spellbook. That's electrocute. So should be obvious which lane DK is going to be playing towards. Makes sense as well. Sivir is obviously, both Sivir and Ezreal really are very self-sufficient AD carries who can just kind of sit in lane. Sivir's wave clear is obviously great for Ezreal. He just has a lot of range and innate safety. I also do think that in Lucid's case, the Lee should be strong into the Silas when it comes to both the 1v1 and the early skirmishes. The burst, though, particularly towards top side, for BNK, I think is very scary. We'll have to see. 1v1 in top going to be a big difference maker as well, as Vikla especially with Showmaker missing and bone plating. Okay, the fact that he missed that and he still almost wins the trade is kind of insane. I want to highlight though, Vikla, I know you want to be aggressive because you're playing Tristana. Obviously you want to try and trade and open all-in windows, but you are playing into Ignite. Like that is something you have to be very careful about. You can't get solo killed.
You think a BNK player would respect Ignite?
Yes.
No.
Vikla, you have been solo killed before. Can't have that happen.
Nah, he's gonna send it at all points.
Oh, no, I think you just sit and you chill and you scale. That's all you do.
Just dodge.
Just dodge. He's doing a great job of dodging.
Yeah.
That's 2 for 2. Just dodge. Do not test the all-in into the Ignite Electrocute Zoe. Because 2 kills and the game becomes unplayable, right?
Yeah.
For your team. So you have to be very mindful of that.
Especially with Lee Sin around. I mean, this could go solo queue very fast.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's Showmaker Lucid, who we know plays so well together. I think it was Ryu who wanted to highlight that this matchup is going to come down to mid-jungle. It feels like in some ways it has.
Yeah.
You know, Diablo hasn't really been the main character of today. He's been more of a passenger, whereas Raptor certainly has been popping off in some big ways. And the difference in mid lane the last time around was very noticeable.
Do have the Ezreal looking good thus far on the patch. Not a high prio pick or anything, but he's just good. Very solid, well-rounded pick as the initial trade obviously goes well, but really nicely done. Gets the full setup as a, Showmaker hasn't picked it in 3 years, but used to be one of our best Zoes. And the early trade's going well. Vikla there because he got the full activation on the E. Got a reset on his jump. Showmaker really, not really supposed to win, I think, this early game, but also wasn't able to hit a lot of those pedals.
Yeah. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like Clear was taking some aggressive trades, but got out-traded one time against Meganar, and then since then it's been Xiu kind of dominating. Going missing there. Nar
is also one of those champions for me that doesn't really... Because he has an impressive laning phase, but it does take a little bit of time.
Oh, we're going in. Diablo gonna take a bit of damage, but he is Ezreal, so just kind of hops away. Still, it's winning to Aiming and Barrel, who will continue to push in very heavily on this lane.
Leona, to me, does feel... Oh, he got the cancel with the Ricochet. Does, to me, feel the most unfair out of any of the engage supports in that you are going Spellbook and Redemption, but just because of Eclipse, you are still so beefy. We see it there, right? Just Barrel getting that Eclipse off as Clear as here.
Yeah, I don't think they can do anything, but they're going to get the heal away. Suppose that's something. So a bit of a swap coming through. There's a big wave going into the top turret at this point.
Yeah, the timing on the swap is still nice for DK. They got the crash to top, thanks to the setup. But the cancel on Barrel is nice. I don't think there's really any threat here, but on the contrary, Xiu was here already, so I think Clear kind of miscalculating the timing there on the TP.
All right, thinking about forcing it.
I think they don't know where Lucid is, so they can't really commit to that, because I don't think you actually want to take a 2v2. If you take the chains and Lee is there, life's not good. You do end up having a really tough time. I think Lucid looking for a lane gank here.
Oh, spotted.
Let's get spotted, so he's going to take the base. See if Diablo can cancel, but he can't really walk up, so not going to be the case. Let's get the shove here in top, and the early game pretty uneventful. And yeah, I'm really looking towards the early actual fight, right? How is the initial CC from BNK going to come through? Because I think that their composition Really, both compositions have been kind of played like pick comps. DK is a little bit more classic because they have Zoe. But then even B&K, right, it's just identify a single target, and you hit either a chain or a hook or a counter-strike, and then you just kind of go on top as... Oh, clean.
Boy, clear nose. He's just going the opposite way. He's trying to hop up actually away from Lucid, and he will be able to. And now Raptor's here. And Lucid not able to secure the kill for the team.
Yeah, doesn't quite have the 6 yet. That could have been a difference. Also doesn't really want to run into the Silas that I do think they knew was towards bot side of the map. It also doesn't matter too much. Like, this is still going to net Shiu a good amount of tempo. I imagine that he's also going to be looking towards either getting off some more harass or just playing for poke on the turret. Does have good coverage as well. So this Gnar actually gets to have a lot of fun with the lane. Boat blading means that the trade is still not bad for him. Can he get the final auto? Nope, I'm going to get the proc, but yeah, this doesn't get better for Jax. I think is the real issue, especially now that Phage is done. Not fun, Valdez.
Yeah, it's kind of bullied out, not even really able to CS under turret, which I think is partially the matchup and partially the way that Clear played it out. And yeah, I mean, he's trying to take trades with Counter-Strike, but eventually he just gets too low and he's going to hold on to that biscuit and just try to back here on the cannon wave. It's a cheeky little ult into mid. Showmaker using that refillable to try to heal up.
Taking a good amount of damage, as might even be a second plate here for Shiu. The only gold lead that's there. Fikla's been doing well in mid. Tristana also notoriously hard to punish, as I like the little trap that they've set up here. I think DK have a suspicion. They also obviously know that Kellen is towards the top side of the map. I don't think he was spotted there, but Showmaker, chapter done. This is looking to be a 4v4 here. It's all about the burst here. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought we were gonna have fun.
Baited by Grubs.
What, don't you want fun?
No, I mean, I do. It's just... I knew that they were going to get one and just back away.
Oh, that's boring.
That's the way new Grubs go. That's the way it goes.
No.
Sorry, I don't make the rules. Here at the LCK, you get one grub, you just leave. There's no fighting.
You know, it's honest work. You come in, you clock it, you
punch
your grub.
ticket.
Yeah, get your grub, and you leave, and you clock out. Back to farming. And it's important to we make a little bit of fun there, but the stakes are insanely high here. Ready for either team. For DK, the momentum in this series will completely shift if you do end up giving up another game, especially with side selection. For B&K, obviously, their tournament lives are on the line.
Okay, good bubble, but this is Tristana, who's able to just essentially buffer and just hop away at the very last moment. So the Tristana certainly has a pretty easy time into the Zoe if you're not behind. This, on the other hand, Shiu definitely making it clear that he is the better top laner tonight.
Yeah, the 1v1s have been pretty merciless. As this is kind of awkward here, because it's both Shiu and aiming here together. Barrel's there, as is Raptor. But yeah, someone needs to catch top wave, so I think they're just going to have Shiu TP from the brush once he gets demolished, is my guess. Because, are we not going to catch top wave?
No. Top wave overrated.
No, he's going to TP. Okay, I guess we don't catch top wave. Okay. He's going to let Asriel do
Who
his
needs
thing.
top wave? Well, it's fine.
No, I think we should...
Just get 10-minute Cloud Drake.
That
it's
wave,
better.
No, that wave matters. Drake is more important, though, so I'm not too bothered with them picking that up. There we go.
Hey,
Okay.
he did it.
So he's still going to miss, what, like 2 creeps probably? Maybe 1. But I got Dragon, so it's fine. I'm not bothered, fellas.
Just a little bit.
Well,
Slightly bothered.
I do wish we got more action, but
Yeah.
now we...
You said it. The stakes are high. The tension is high.
Yeah.
Both teams don't want to make
And
mistakes.
it's, again, whichever team falls behind is just going to have to lead. Like, any of these champions. Lee from ahead, Zoe from ahead, like even Gnar from ahead is just an obnoxious
Silas
side lane.
from ahead.
Exactly.
Very
Tristana,
annoying.
It's like, oh, look, I got to lane. Oh, she jumped. Oh, my health bar is gone. Oh, my weight. Oh, that's It's fun.
Oh, the turret's already gone here,
Yeah.
or what?
And then you think you win a fight, and then you look on the other end of the map, and you're just hurt. Walk, walk,
Yeah.
walk, walk. Jax is just hammering away. DK is getting the early gold lead, but until I actually see some kills onto the imported members, I don't think that means too much. Same for BNK here, as we are just scaling. We're biding our time.
Just roaming around his barrel, seeing what he can see. He's perusing the map.
So the plates are good for DK. The CS is better. Actually, I say that.
Okay.
Isn't really.
It's a little preview of what we could have happen in this game. Raptor not very tanky.
I guess it is just mid, huh? Interesting. Interesting, Velas.
Yes. We're just hanging out.
Rocket Belt's done. Yeah, they are just kind of dropping a lot of plates here. This gold lead is slowly becoming bigger. Now in this series, as we all know, gold lead is more of a concept than something that impacts the game's barrel.
Is it a legend?
Barrel, you know!
Okay, they're going in, and everybody's here, but Raptor, very squishy, is going to be taken out first. It's now Diablo. Just going to have to hop away, and Kellen in a lot of trouble.
Kellen, no!
Yeah, Kellen, yes. Down he goes, 2-0 to the junglers. Barrel nearly dies. Diablo tried to flash Q that and missed. So now he's down his flash, and DK get the first turret.
Never change Diablo. Everything on the line. You got a flash Q for that. Barrel still had flash as well. Oh no, Felda. But you are Ezreal. I think your E is definitely... your flash isn't nearly as high value.
But yeah.
The real problem is that Lee's now 2-0. And he's going to stat check a lot of your team. Lucid, though, has had some issues with, I think, getting a little bit overexcited on his skirmishy junglers, but I can't believe this works. I feel like it shouldn't. No, I know it's Leona, but like they do just go in 2v3 and it just, they have the burst. Silas doesn't get to play the game, just gets 100-0. And then, yeah, Kellen doesn't really get to do anything. Aiming also ready to save his body as...
Oh, and guess what? Guess who doesn't have flash? Not sure if it would have mattered, but he gets caught out in the side lane, and that kill this time goes over to Showmaker, and now it's the mid-jungle duo of Dplus Kia, who are very far ahead.
Oh, that's a rough one. Oh, that's Luden's done. Okay, BNK, do not despair. We had a similar situation in the last game. Okay, all we need is just one good pick.
Gold leads are just a legend group concept.
They are, yeah. They're not real. They can't hurt you if you don't let them hurt you.
It's unimportant, so we don't even need to think about it. Just have to think about who's playing better, the tempo vibes.
It's still a finicky comp for DK. You know, like someone oversteps, they can get blown up in seconds. There's a lot of CC on BNK. But yeah, this is not the start you want. As we take another look here, Diablo, as you, I think, correctly said, if it doesn't matter if he has flash or not, I think he just always dies here. Once the slow comes through, there's just no way. Lucid still had his flash as well.
There was even a ward behind him.
Yeah, it was just too far up. And now, unfortunately, Diablo, as I've already highlighted, main character for the whole year. But it's also, he is, I don't know if you haven't seen this yet, the picture of him when he started playing League from like 3-4 years ago.
Wasn't he like 15?
No, he was like
14?
No, this was like 2020, 2021. So he was like 30. I'm just going to show. The LCK social media manager posted it. I have to show you.
Here we go. This is how it begins. If they get this mid turret, it will just be even more oppressive.
Basically what I'm getting at is this is his highest stakes position he's been in. He's always played on kind of the cusp of what works and what doesn't. And I think that we're starting to see some of those cracks show here. And the team needs him to step it up as well, because he's been the best performing member over the year.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's been quite consistent. And got to see if he can step up. He's not that far behind, but certainly making some, you could say, rookie mistakes. And wow. Yeah, he's very young in that photo. clear. He's going to be okay.
If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check out the New Blood content that the LCK does. Really good stuff. Showcasing Dplus journey. And the reason why we're discussing that is because this game thus far, Valdez, is looking rough. TP comes in, but they're already out.
They are so out.
Might be helping them set up for this objective as a but that is
yeah.
not.
There's also redemption. I mean, okay. He's gonna hop away. He's okay. All calculated.
I guess they can give it this Dragon. DK can. This is still nice though for BNK. Really kind of giving up some of the pressure, but they did answer for this with a lot of pressure right towards the mid lane in particular.
Another Ocean Soul. It is raining quite a lot today. I guess maybe that's
It has been, actually, yeah. I remember I walked over the bridge near my house and like the entire thing was flooded. Actually looked very cool.
Doesn't sound very cool.
No, I mean, I am Dutch. I do have to love rain.
You don't have a choice.
I like it.
One of your Dutch passives.
It is, yeah. Yeah, you can't really...
It's just like me with burgers.
I thought you were going to say
burgers.
pizza.
Well, yeah, that too, but that's in New York.
That's from me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A little bit different.
Thanks. I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were from New York, Valdez.
Yeah.
Huh.
You just found out now after all these years.
I never know.
Wow.
Took me almost 5 years.
You're really not paying attention.
To figure it out. Oh, I never do.
I mean, it's not like we mentioned it every single
I
cast.
don't really care about whatever my co-caster says. You know, it's all about me.
That's true, and your prediction,
yes.
which could come true if DK wins here.
I'm feeling good right now, but that's usually what happens before the Rise group of it all sets in. And I think BNK are just one Otacon play away from equalizing this game. One shutdown, like they get like Lucid and Showmaker, they overextend inside. They get the kill. All of a sudden, it's a free K gold swing.
Showmaker too aggressive with this portal jump.
Oh, perfect.
Gets ulted by Nautilus.
Yes.
And they just, you know,
they
dogpile everybody.
It.
And they get the kill. Lucid tries to get in there to kick to save, but instead he just puts himself in a bad spot.
Yep, I gotta save my butt. No, you don't. Let him go. It's fine.
All right, well, kind of forced to take the fight here is clear. Goes in. Siu is pushed out. Who's gonna get that pedal though?
Yeah, once Cleaver is done, this matchup I think becomes like truly obnoxious. It's already hard, but I do think Jax now is still like kind of okay. Once Cleaver comes through and the Cleaver stacking is so fast on Gnar, and then you have the hyper procs. It's just a nightmare. I don't know if I would say Ficklot dodged all of that. Dodged that though.
Just dodge. Eventually, he's able to hop away.
I don't know if he dodged that or if they missed it. I'm saying dodged, Valdez.
Yeah, just dodge.
He did.
He's following the best course of action.
That's an ultimate. We also haven't discussed the fact that Silas is playing into Zoe, which is true. Like I think that is the worst one. Out of all of I don't know if there is a worse one. Like in League.
Yeah.
I think it might just be Zoe.
Zoe is definitely top 5 worst.
Yeah, it's like it's hard because you can't really think from the top of your head of every single champion that has a bad ult to steal. I guess like can you steal Mel ult? That would be bad.
Mal ult?
Mel.
Oh, Mel.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mauritz Muse?
No, that's me. Okay, Barrel. Oh,
do you have an ultimate ability?
Well, according to some, it's pretending caster curses aren't real and does have
you're the best
caster
at
curse.
cursing, yeah, it is true.
They're not real, though, so.
You know, I didn't want to bring it up, but after game 2, you were like, well, I guess it's just a 3-0. You did say that. And here we go. Going in onto Aiming, who is very out of position and might just go down. Gets flashed on and taken out. Raptor lives. And now Barrel might have to pay for the sins of the team as he will go down as well. It's 2 kills in the pocket of BNK.
There we go. Maybe another play to follow through here as well. DK should know that this is happening. Trying to deny Raptor access, but look at the vision control here towards the bot side of the map. And the bot lane struggles for DK Continuous. The poke is hitting. TP's coming in. Lucid's in the area.
The bubble's not going to hit. We got Mega Gnar on timing,
so
though.
Low. They will all get one-tapped, and Lucid should have an advantage here if he can get the Q off.
Q is used, but they don't They're not putting in the damage just yet. Lucid in range. Kellen hooking the wall. And Lucid's right here. The dash! Oh, he's going to miss! And the dash gets him away. Lucid outplaying and breaking their ankles. As this one will go into the hands of Dplus Kia.
They don't need a bot lane! As Lucid, Showmaker, and Shiu say no to the attempted turnaround of this series from BNK. Starts off with a really nice TP to come through. A double TP, great play on the ward there. They're able to take down aiming immediately. You know, and they actually get to play their melee comp.
Raptor actually flash smited the spell shield so that his stolen Leona ult hit aiming. Can't even blame aiming for that.
Very clean. Okay, Lucid goes in, right? Watch this dash. Dashes away out of the ultimate. Hits the Q. Sunder Sky obviously doing some insane things there, but that was the turning point possibly for BNK. Could have been a kill, a second kill on Otacon, a gold swing, but instead DK up to a commanding lead now.
And at this point, it's getting there. It's getting...
Chronicler's gonna start gloating about his prediction any second.
Oh no, please. You do it so much already.
It really is one of those things where if you're a viewer that watches like only playoffs, you'll be like, yeah, Chronicler never shuts up about them.
Because you're playing into the meme, they're like...
just believe it.
Yeah.
Who started the meme? Like, this has been going on for years. I don't even remember. Was it Wolf? Was it Max?
I always just assume it's Ox, but I think
no, this was there
came
before.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first instinct though was like it was Ox, 100%, but like no, it wasn't.
It's always Ox.
I don't know who it was.
I don't know. I don't know when it began. Because at first I fought it, and then at some point I was like, well,
we'll never know.
I guess I can't. Maybe a Twitch chatter knows. Someone out there.
They need a clip though.
The first time.
All right, IE completed for Vikla. Do they have a chance to come back in this game?
Yeah, remember what I said earlier about Zoe, how she's notoriously, like, when you're behind, the type of champion where you just don't really get to play the game?
But when you're ahead,
you are having a great... If you're Zoe, you are having a great time. Yeah.
Lucid will take these fights 100 out of 100 times.
As is Cleaver done, so does Shiu now. Gonna be an even bigger threat in the side lane. Ooh. Oh.
I mean, Raptor's on his game. He did die early on, but you know, he's a level 8 Silas at that time.
Oh yeah, I love this. Bring out the death brush. No one's catching a wave though. They haven't been catching these top waves. I swear. Oh no. Oh no, they're gonna be... They invited them to the party, but they're not showing up. They're just sitting there with the cake.
Party's done. Party's over.
Oh, I can't.
Gotta get back.
That. It's too sad.
Go home. Go home. Well, they're just gonna keep their Tristana top. And keep in mind, this is without Baron. They're just pushing mid and bot at the same time. Gnarled stolen, but no angles to use it.
Oh, Veldis, it's so sad.
And eventually, I mean, yeah, you gotta try to get some engage off. But Kellen, he's just gonna be isolated up against the wall and the bubble, and he will have to flash away. That is Raptor, of course. Kellen goes in and just dies. Looks like DK might just have it. That damage is insane from the Zoe. So we might be seeing more of this as playoffs comes along, as Clear is actually gonna help Diablo get the kill. Still a chance, I suppose, but not looking very good. Dplus Kia backing away and playing it safe from 7,000 gold ahead.
And that's just going to be 2 inhibs taken out, meaning that Baron should be certain. You just can't vision. You can't check. There's just no way to regain any vision against this composition. And we kind of knew we would know who was going to take control of this game, but DK is really pushing as much as they can here. As I actually like this. Very aggressive on Raptor, so he doesn't get a good ult angle. And then there, the attempt from Kellen. I actually like it. He's trying to get aiming, right? If he gets the hook on the aiming, I don't think the follow-up would have been there, but they can see the angle. You're in a moment of desperation. Maybe Vikla can get on top of the Sivir, but he hooks Shiu. And Shiu isn't really that bothered, even as Mininar Barrel definitely is Barrel as oh Diablo, you're such a gamer, man.
Yep.
Just arcane shifting in front of his body, but Barrel can just go in on anything now.
Yeah, he is that tanky. And the bubble's gonna land. The Q is absolutely gonna paddle him in the face as in he goes. Lucid not quite able to get the angle though with the kick. Kicks Diablo away, follows the Q, is very much alone as the Paddle Star is going to miss as well. And down will go Lucid. Barrel extremely low himself. Vikla just hopping away. Diablo gonna get exhausted. They're thinking about it. The flash on in and the auto from the side of Showmaker gets the kill. Make it 2. As Kellen make it 3. DK may have just done it as Raptor is going to be zoned out of this one, and it looks like they might just look for the Baron.
I think they have to go top. I don't actually think they can do Nash because they don't have Lucid yet. They could start it up though, but the health bars are kind of low. Showmaker still looking, so I think they get top turret into base, into just doing the Nash. Might provide an opportunity here for BNK though to at least regain some composure. And as long as the Nexus is not down, BNK is in this series, okay? This is still Rise Group. Yeah, DK...
They have double A to carry, you know?
Definitely starting to show some of those classic DK traits as they get a ginormous chunk onto Raptor. But Lucid has been, I think, very aggressive here today. Really nicely done by Diablo there. Good timing on the flash to ensure that he gets kicked out. Then Lucid takes that play. Funnily enough, if he kills Raptor there, like maybe between Triumph and another Sundered Skybrock, he's fine. But instead, he just ends up going down. Vikla distracts a lot of people, does a good job there. But Diablo doesn't have his sum, so Showmaker does just kind of blow him up. But because the inhibs are already down, there isn't really anything to play for DK. I do imagine that they're going to play towards Baron next. We'll have to see. This Dragon, though, is a no-brainer. But, you know, if the gold lead stays at this time, around this space, and I think the real issue is they can't afford to give up Nash. When you're getting sieged by Zoe Sivir and they have Nash, you just, with your composition especially.
Just hit that FF.
Yeah, it's not fun. But they also can't walk up, because I want you to look at their vision.
Well, they saw it with the Ezreal.
They will know, but will it matter? This has got to be the Hail Mary.
I mean, they're
the tournament lives on the line here.
They're just gonna try to send it. Bubble walked over by Kellen. Raptors running in, and DK, they're playing it safe. They're hopping away. The bubble gonna hit Diablo, and the follow-up is there for Showmaker. The one-shot gets the Ezreal, but now Showmaker is very out of position, but they get the Tristana as well, and I think that should just be enough. Down goes Kellen, and down goes Clear. Eventually, there it is. Kill goes over to Shiu, and that will be Dplus Kia moving on to the next round of the Gauntlet.
And the rematch between DK and T1 is on. It was a 5-game banger. We were hoping for one today. But despite that resurgence in Game 4, this is where BNK, their season ends. No shot at an LCK title. No shot at making Worlds. It was DK. 3-1 victory here today.